Okay. Good evening and welcome live from Haler Samodiac Field at Western Alumni Stadium. This is Mustangs football on OUA TV. My name is Tom McConnell. Joining me is Todd McKay, and this is the home opener. And Todd McKay, the stands are packed.
This is exciting. We're back here again 1 year to the date, basically, that the last time the stadium was full, this was the Frost Week game, and it was electric last year. So let's hope we get the same type of game this week, with lots of action on the field and lots of support in the crowd.
Well, we have a Mustangs team coming in at 1-0 that went through, we call it a glorified practice session against our clients, and a MAC team that got punched in the mouth by Windsor in Hamilton. So MAC comes into this game 0-1 after not qualifying for the playoffs last year and get off to the wrong start this season. Meanwhile, Western faced their stiff competition for the first time. However, looking to get on track early last year, down Hamilton, Western was dominant in that performance.
Yeah, we look at last week's game, and I mean, that game in York, you cannot use that as any type of lit for what the season is going to be for Western. That was basically a practice session for them. But this week, with McMaster coming to town, they are hoping for a better match, but I'm not sure entirely they're going to get one, Tommy. I got to be honest with you. It's going to be a rather one-sided game, I think. I hope we're wrong, but MAC has a lot of work they got to do on one facet of their game, and I'm not sure they're going to be up to that test today.
We'll get to the keys of the game in just 1 second, but one of the things may play a factor, almost SEC weather here, Todd, not OUA weather. Hot today, however, clouded over right now. It's going to be warm, but not as blazing as some were forecasting for the beginning of this game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the hotter days of the season so far. So I was commenting before the game that I thought the for a little shorter and a little bit less dynamic than it probably usually is. But I think that's for good measure. I think they're not quite used to this level of humidity and heat this season. I think they actually played it quite smart, and I think they were sort of saving some of their gas for the game.
So, out to midfield, we'll have the coin toss. The officials for today's game. Kevin Baird is the referee. Adelmo Monaco is the umpire. Eric Giebbi, the down judge. Bill Islip, the line judge. Darren Cochran, the side judge. Bill Sigeti, the back judge. And Brian Craig is the field judge. As per usual, Murray Drinkwalter, longtime referee in the OUA, is the supervisor of officials, and he's up in the booth. So Kevin Baird just now talking to both captains. Todd, when you talk about, one of the things MAC has to do is obviously account for this Western rushing attack and haven't really been able to do it for a couple of years now. What we're probably going to see is MAC load the box, 8 players trying to force the run. But last year we saw Evan Hillock just have a terrific game. Receivers left one-on-one. So if you're going to load the box, careful what you wish for, because then Evan Hillock gets to have one-on-one with a lot of talented receivers.
Yeah, as a defensive coordinator, I look at the what Western brings to the line, and this is your worst nightmare. What are you going to try and take away? You got one of the best offensive lines in the country that are just going to manhandle your defensive line and run the ball all over you. So yeah, the only solution to that is to stack that box and get as many people in there, try and cut that traffic as possible. And like you said, it becomes a pass Skelly period for Hillock, and he's just going to fire the ball all over the field. And
while Western lost 2 experienced receivers from over the last couple of years in Justin Nixon and Griffin Campbell, not a bad day by Mohsen Jamal, 4th-year receiver, and had 4 catches for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns in his debut start. That's getting off the schneid.
Yeah, 26.5 yards per catch. His longest was 39 yards. So, I mean, there are a lot of explosive plays last week against York. But, again, it's all relative. Against York, there were a lot of holes, and a lot of receivers had a lot of explosive plays. But a nice start for the young guy, the new guy, to step on there and to rack up some yards in his debut.
So Mac will kick off. Second-year kicker Michael Horvat's very strong leg, great punter, better punter than he is from the ground, but good strong leg. And Western going with the two running backs looking to return the two-headed monster. It's Keon Edwards, the reigning OUA MVP, and Keanu Yazbek. So 5 and 6 are the numbers looking to return this opening kickoff for the Mustangs in their season home opener in front of a lively, Frosh-dominated crowd. There's Horvat to the 14. Yazbek on the return, looking for a lane outside. Dances away to the sidelines, forced out of bounds at about the 35. And that's where Evan Hillick, who had a great game last week, playing one half, 13 of 18, 305 yards and 5 touchdowns, will lead the Mustangs on this attack.
If you're the kickoff team for Mac lining up against those two returners, which one are you going to kick away from?
I'm kicking to Yazbek. Although the theory is, kick it to Keon Edwards, get him a few more.
Give him a nice big hit to start, but if you're a young guy on that kickoff team and you're coming down the field for the first time against those two guys, wow, that's a bit of a sight to see.
So Edwards is in the backfield beside Hillick. Play action, Hillick out to the outside. You got Seth Robertson into the flats. Gain of about 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
So as expected, they just step up with the little hack play there. They're stepping the fullback to the edge of the line, running a little inside zone look, and just hitting it with a little arbo off the edge to the receiver. I figured they would just run the ball on the first down, but I like the choice of play to mix it up and get things going.
Blake to the near side. Mo Jamal to the far side. Hillick back to pass, has time. Down the slot, he's got Savon Magne-Jones. Big catch and takes the hit. First down, just over the 50. As Hillick connects with his favorite target, Savon Magne-Jones.
Yep, nice little spot. Threw the ball right into the middle of the zone there in between two zones, and he was able to catch it. And, he took a big hit when he caught it, but he was able to secure the ball.
So Edwards, offset left. Receivers go in motion. Hillick, quick hitter to the outside. He's got Mohsen Jamal down the sideline, steps out of bounds, but not after he looks like close to a first down. And I think he's got it by about half a yard. Mustangs now into Marauder territory.
Yep. They haven't run the ball yet, and I don't think either of us expected they would come out and throw the ball every down from the first snap of the game. But you know what? The receivers are loving it.
If you're going to go man-to-man.
And McMaster has a 7-man box.
Has 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. That's to his left. Jamal is isolated to the top. Edwards on the first carry, jumps over the line, and Edwards looks like he has 6, maybe 7 yards on that first down.
Yeah, and there we go. We're going to see probably the Western offensive line try and get to a bit of a rhythm here and run the ball. Last year, they basically started most of the game running the ball for an entire quarter, and they were able to sort of try and assert their dominance.
Let's make it 3 yards on the first down play. Edwards, offset. Play action, out to the flats. There's Jamal on the little wide receiver screen, and Jamal has good blocking, and he's down to the 25-yard line. Nicely executed by the Mustangs.
He's a great receiver. He's not a big guy, but he's able to sort of hide in those little pockets behind his blockers. He gets the ball, and he just gashes it upfield.
So 1st and 10, Mustangs on the 26-yard line. Right hash. Blake, offset to the left. Magne-Jones, isolated to the right. Play action. Hillick looking back to pass. Going over the middle. Oh, and he's hit as he releases. Looking for Magne-Jones, looks like on the deep post, but couldn't get it off in time. Bring down 2nd and 10. Mac brought pressure that time and finally was able to get to Hillick.
They did. Craig Coleman, the fullback for Western, who stepped up and took care of the defensive end, but just waiting for the replay. I think they brought the linebacker off the edge and wasn't accounted for, and he had a free run at Hillick's back.
3 receivers to the wide field for Hillick. That's to his left. Jamal comes in motion. Mac bringing pressure, handing off. Edwards looking for some room, and he's taken down from behind. Minimal gain. Make it 1. And it'll bring up 3rd down, and the field goal unit coming on.
Yeah, McMaster's just trying to mush up the middle of that field. You can see how tight that box was, and again, forcing Western to just try and drive that ball forward. And this time, Keon Edwards is not able to get as much as he's used to getting.
So here's Brian Garrity putting the tee down at 32. Was 3 of 3 last week. Pardon me, 2 of 2. Garrity's threw the ball, and it's good. The Mustangs get the score of the game, 3-0.
Yeah, it's nice when Garrity can step up and just make a nice, easy swing to put from the 30-yard line. That is certainly reassuring to the coaches when you're getting to that field position and able to walk away with 3. I think Western rather have walked away with 7 on that series, but Mac did a pretty good job playing against that pass and mushing up the run at the last part of that drive.
So a little bit of bend but don't break by the Marauders on that first drive. Let's see offensively what they can do. It's Keegan Hall, the third-year quarterback out of Burlington Nelson, leading the Marauder offense. Play action. Hall looking to go to his outside receiver. He's got a catch, and there's going to be a first down. Jacob Patton, who led the receiving corps last week, picks up 12 yards.
Yeah, and Hall did a great job last year coming on as the backup late in the game against Western, and he was very confident in the backfield. And he controlled the huddle. He came out and he did a nice job against Western as the backup. Now, they're backup players that he was going against, but he still showed a lot of confidence for a young player.
So Braden Kelly is in the game, bubbles out of the backfield. Hall looking downfield, play action, rolling out to his left, little dump off. Kelly on the catch. He's going to get about 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5, open playbook coming up.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of this brand of football from Hall now that he's here. He's used to playing an RPO system coming from Burlington Nelson. They're quite famous and quite strong at doing that. And he's bringing that same type of game here, and already starting to run it quite effectively.
So 2nd and 5. Kelly offset to the left. Receivers go in motion. Hall handing the ball off, and Kelly's got room off the right side. Nice little stutter step, cuts in. Good cut by Braden Kelly to get that first down.
Yeah, the linebackers were sitting there waiting for him, but the linebackers sort of frozen in the backfield. They didn't really have a big, strong step up field. But that's what happens when you run that RPO. You start to freeze the linebacker a little bit with that play action pass type of play. And now the linebackers kind of honor that first, and that gives some room to the running back to get some yards.
4 receivers to the right. Now one comes into the backfield for Hall, looking left, down over the middle, has his receiver. Oh, just behind him. That was Jackson Cooling, another Burlington Nelson product. Just couldn't bring it in, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Hall will want that one back.
I wondered if that ball got tipped, Tommy. It looked like it might have got tipped over the line there, which might have just put it off course for the fullback. Here's the replay. We'll see it now.
Don't know if it got tipped, but it difficult picking it up.
Yeah, the defensive lineman had a hand up and just behind the receiver, couldn't quite get a hand on it.
So 2nd and 10. Hall looking left, under pressure, steps up, throwing back across the grain, has his receiver, and it was over the line. I guess not. First down, gain of 15.
Nice patience from the guy, you know what I mean? He scrambles out, you know, he had the option to run the ball. He sees a receiver free in the middle of the field in the zone, and he just sort of flicks it to him. Great patience and great vision from Hall.
So the Marauders into Mustang territory, 34-yard line left hash. Hall with 3 receivers to his right. They approach the line. Play action, rolls out, dumps it off. There's Patton on the catch, and he's close to a first down. It's going to be maybe a yard short. Nice work at that play action, Todd, and then getting Jacob Patton on the fly.
Yeah, they just sort of leaked that. I think that was the slot back out of was sort of on that whip motion, and he just sort of continued into the flat, and he was wide open. No one picked him up.
All right, short yardage situation, and this is where McMaster has struggled over the last couple of years. Right up center, Stevenson Nermanchich looking for a yard. He's got 2. So just straight ahead, didn't even bother to hand the ball off. There's Steven Nermanchich. Gain of about 2 on me. All right, so Keegan Hall, rotating quarterbacks on short yardage situation. Hall coming back in. It's first down Marauders. Right hash, 22-yard line.
I don't think Paul Gleason, the defensive coordinator for Western, is going to be particularly pleased with this defensive stand so far, the first offensive series for Mac. One of the areas that Western's defense was somewhat questionable was in the linebacking core. And, they got a lot of good athletes there. They're just trying to find their top guys. And, Mac is making it difficult for them to be very dynamic, which sort of, again, freezes those linebackers up a little bit and forces them to have to make big reads, good decisions, and big plays on the ball.
Here we see on the replay, Patent getting that little dump off. 1st and 10. Empty backfield for the Marauders. 4 receivers to Keegan Hall's left. Hall looking left, has his receiver in the slot. Caught and then taken down after a gain of 12 yards. Pitch and catch for the Marauders on this. That was Everett Reed with the reception. So right at the 10-yard line, they're going to have to go full measure if they want to hit the end zone. But boy, Todd, great first drive for Mac, who struggled last week against Windsor, getting any sort of consistent offense going.
Yeah, and we know they didn't run the ball very much, and they're doing what they did last week, and that's passive.
I don't know if we're going to see them run the ball much unless it's Keegan Hall. All right, it's 1st and 10. Hall with time. Happy feet rolling to his left. And then he's taken down. Does he get away? And the referee says no, he does not. So Lawrence Bowers-Kane with the sack. No, incomplete pass. So he's saying he got it off. And so it's 2nd down and 10. So the difference is about 5 yards. So Lawrence Bowers-Kane just give him credit for the pressure, not for the sack.
Well, McMaster has some good momentum going. That one play was one of their first gaffes of the day. So
Flood left. Western showing pressure up the middle, picked up well by Mac into the end zone. Caught Patton, touchdown. Mac with the first down of the game. 6:22 to play in this first quarter.
Nice play. Hall would have known that.
Jacob Patton, 3rd-year receiver.
Hall would have known that Western would have been coming out in a man coverage there, so deep in the zone, and was able to sort of find a mismatch. And frankly, the Western defender fell off his man a little bit, and he was able to get free back into the corner route.
What really made that play was the blitz pickup. So good by the Mac front line.
Yep.
Western bringing pressure right up the double-A gaps. And Mac was able to pick it up, and Keegan Hall had a highway to look through. Keegan Hall on that drive was 6 of 8 for 62 yards. And the extra point by Michael Horvat is good. So Mac 7, Western 3.
And to your point, Tommy, talking about the offensive line, picking up the blitzes there and doing a good job running or getting the ball down the field and offering protection for Hall. Coming into this game, would have suggested that Mac's offensive line had not done a very good job last week, simply based on the lack of yardage that McMaster ran for. But watching them on this series, they look like they did a great job. Hall had all kinds of time to throw. He was able to get out and make some stuff happen to push the ball downfield.
One of the things that when we talk to the coaching staff that Windsor really brings is great pressure off the edge. One of the questions Western has defensively is pressure off the edge.
Yeah.
And so Hall really wasn't under a lot of pressure. We saw a couple of incompletions on that drive, but we saw not a ton of pressure by Western. Great job by the Mac offensive line to settle in early in this game.
Well, and Mac's offensive coordinator would know that as well. So if you are going to bring some pass rush pressure, your defense can do it. Who do you have to have do it? You got your linebackers do it. And so Hall's watching for that linebacker to come, and that's where he's dumping the ball off into the zone. And that linebacker comes, he vacates that area, and the receivers are just settling in there. Smart offensive football for Mac so far this game.
So Horvat has it teed up at the 45. It is Yazbek and Edwards. Edwards is almost right down the middle. Keanu Yazbek is between the far hash and the numbers, expecting Horvat, who is related to the hockey Horvats.
Mr. Bowe.
While we have a second here, we had a game earlier today. Laurier defeated Carleton in Waterloo 2015. Laurier now 2-0. Carleton 0-1. That was their first game of the season.
Yeah, they're not blowing anybody out, but they're getting the job done. They're doing just enough of what they have to do. And Elgar from London has done a great job getting the ball to his receivers.
So Yazbek gets through the first tackler and is able to get out to the 27. And you see, right, as Coach Larry Haler always said, special teams is a barometer of a team's attitude. You saw a little extra there from Mac, taking an early lead on Western, getting down there a little quicker. And we saw Yazbek hit as he hit about the 20, but able to get up to the 27.
Well, if I'm a McMaster Marauder after that first series, I would have a little more pep in my step as well coming down that field. That just adds a little bit of confidence to you as a player, and that extends to special teams as well.
So Hillick, with Edwards offset to his receivers go in motion, there's going to be a flag. Braden Masseri, very early.
Yeah,
the timing just wasn't right on that call.
Western ran that pod motion where they bring the wide receiver down the line from the outside towards the offensive line, but he just sort of scooted over the line of scrimmage a little bit early. And that's not uncommon for an early season game, but Coach Marshall will not be pleased with that.
When you look at a game, for instance, taught in the CFL, there's usually a discretion of about how far? A yard, maybe?
I would say almost 2 yards sometimes.
Yeah. That was up 3 or 4 yards offside. So Terry to get away with that one. So 1st and 15, Masseri isolated to the left. Looked like Mac bringing pressure. Quick hitter. There's Savon Magne-Jones with the catch. He's going to get a 9 on the play out to the, 6 on the play.
Yep.
And it'll be at the 29-yard line.
And defensively, that's where you want an offense to throw the ball. You'll give up the short route to prevent the deep route. But Magne-Jones, he's a shifty little guy. He's pretty good at getting that again, and that's in that little spot in the flat and getting some yards.
Big play, I'd say more for the Mac defense, and it looks like they're bringing pressure off the short side. Here they come. Hillick has time, and then miscommunication. Magne-Jones was open in the flat. And the pass falls incomplete. So good job by Mac bringing pressure. Western can't convert, and they'll have to have their first punt of the afternoon.
Yeah, number 13, Josh Cumber for McMaster did a nice job sort of shielding off and cutting off that receiver from getting to the ball. So
they're running a little rub right there. It was Seth Robertson and Savon Magne-Jones. And
all right, so Western has this shield formation in their punt game.
A.J. Williamson, who averaged 34 yards. Deep, high kick. Nice kick by Williamson. Back to the 30, but he's got room on the outside. Looking to get down the line. Good return. So a nice kick by A.J. Williamson, but a nice return by Everett Reed. Close to midfield, and they'll have good field position to start their second possession.
Yeah. That play was really set up nicely by Jake Schlachter for McMaster, who had a key block on return there that allowed the returner to bounce the ball outside and pick up about 20 extra yards. So, again, little things in special teams makes a big difference. One little block can really bounce the ball.
It's first down for the Marauders on their own 52-yard line. Keegan Hall waiting for the signal from the referee. Have to put 8 seconds back on the clock. Western on their first drive, if you're just joining us, marched down and settled for a chip field goal from Brian Garrity. And then Mac on their first possession took the ball at the 35, went down, and it was Jacob Patton, third-year receiver with a touchdown, his first of the year, and it's 7-3. Hall under pressure, rolling to his right, and then throws it at the feet, and there's a flag on the play. Is that going to be a late hit or intentional grounding?
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get away with throw. He sort of looked to intentionally have thrown that at the knees of the Western defenseman.
So Max von Muhldorfer, third-year defensive tackle, did good work. And we see Malcolm Fraser, first-year player as a defensive tackle, coaches really high on Fraser. Said he did a great job at York, and in that controlled scrimmage against Waterloo, hardly got touched in their one-on-one drills. So look for Malcolm Fraser to bring some pressure as a first-year player. So it wasn't intentional grounding. Spot full, loss of down. It'll be second down and long. Let's make it close to 16 yards. Keep an eye on Patton. Cooling is inside of him. Kelly, the lone back. Western just bringing 3. Hall has time. Steps up, drops it short, behind Cooling, and it's going to be a punctuation.
Yeah.
So Cooling was the intended receiver, but well behind him.
Yeah, and those crossing routes really seem to be working against Western's defense, but the last 2 crossing routes that McMaster ran, the ball was thrown short behind the receiver. Otherwise, would have had a couple more first downs in the last 2 series.
So Braden Masserio had a great game last week, averaging about 27 yards a punt return, is back there with Savon Magne-Jones. In fact, it was another returner, Daniel Kabongo, who had a 52-yard punt return last week against York. So Masserio's on the near side, and he will communicate and get the ball. At the 25, Masserio, and takes the first hit but keeps going. Good job by Braden Masserio getting those extra yards. And Western will scrimmage at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice job absorbing that hit and getting off of it. Number 35 for McMaster came down the field unblocked. Jacob Mason, the tight end, his Western blocker did not do his job down the field and was able to get that shot, but it's a little bounce off, picked up a few extra yards, and now they're starting on the 32 instead of the 25.
Quick out of town, Windsor over Guelph, 9-0. York over Waterloo, 14-8. One of those 2 teams going to have a win early in the season.
Yeah, that's a shocking score, to be honest with you, but good for York, recovering and bouncing back after last week.
High snap to Hillick, under pressure, going deep, and he's got Jamal. Can't quite get it, and there is no flag on the play. So crowd thought that defender had to restrain Jamal, but the referee being right there said, no, sir.
Yeah, the Western fans definitely wanted pass interference on that call. And the defender did a good job shielding that ball from getting into the receiver's hands. And the receiver left the ground. So it sort of changes the scope of what you can get away with.
Masserio isolated to the left. Receivers go in motion. Keep an eye on Savon Magne-Jones and Seth Robertson inside to the right. Hillick with the snap. Hand it off. There's Keanu Yazbek to the line. Yazbek, gets to the 40. Tickled right around the foot. He's going to be about 2.5 yards short.
Yazbek absolutely roached the one McMaster defender. I believe it was number 17, Anthony Sestanovich. Nope, it wasn't, but he just opened a door and a floodgate through the linebacker on that play.
So Gaines on the play officially, and it looks like we're back punt. Williamson. Drop snap. Williamson has time. He should turn around and run. He's got a first down. So Williamson on the drop punt. No one checked him. Got a big hit. But no one had the punter on the coverage. And Williamson on the fumble. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Todd McKay.
Yeah, almost like you drew that up that way, but it looked like the rusher off of the edge slipped on a piece of turf, and that opened up the sideline. He lost contain, and the punter just was able to take the ball and get to the field side and get the first down. Good heads-up play by the punter.
So in a way, a turnover of sorts, if you will, even though it wasn't officially, because Western keeps possession, and they're on their 53-yard line. Edwards on the handoff, looking for him. Off tackle right, spinning. Good work by the Marauders up front, and Edwards is only able to get 4 yards on the first down play. 1:30 to play in this first quarter. Mac leading Western 7-3. Mustangs now in Marauder territory.
It looked like Eric Anderson pancaked his defender, and they had a little hug session on the turf afterwards. Took him a minute to get up.
So 2nd and 6, Edwards. To the left, Mac show pressure. Receivers in motion, play action. Hillick has time, steps up, down the middle. And Savon Magne-Jones to the top of his ability gets the pass. And he's down to about the 40-yard line.
Great hands, great catch. And again, to the point, Magne-Jones, just a little guy. It's hard for these big linebackers to hit these little receivers.
So just watching Magne-Jones with the curl. Boy, good job. No wonder he's a 2-time All-Canadian. So first down Mustangs on the 41. Edwards. Beside Hillock. Receivers in motion. Play action. Hillock to the sideline. Oh, just outside. It was Savon Magne-Jones who just couldn't connect with his favorite target. 2nd and 10. Just coming up to 25 seconds left in this first quarter.
Just one step short in the flat to the sideline there, just out of the reach of his hands. But he's had a lot of balls thrown to him today. You know, he might be getting a little bit fatigued. I think like in a regular play, he would have that ball.
So, Mac looked like they were bringing pressure. Western offensive line flinched, and it's going to be 5 yards against the Mustangs. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
Well, it's always
Is false
nice.
start the most frustrating penalty as a coach?
yeah, because that's one that should never happen.
You know the count. They don't know the count. So 2nd and 15, 3 receivers to Hillock's left. Mac up bringing pressure. Hillock dumps it off and just out of the reach again. Crossing pattern for Savon Magne-Jones. Incomplete. And so Williamson will come in. And Mac is hoping to spy him this time. 1.7 seconds left. This will be the final play of the first quarter, barring a defensive penalty.
His first punt was a high, booming punt. The nose of the ball turned over, got a little extra distance on it. Let's see if he can get another one of those. When you hit those types of balls as a punter, it's always a sweet feeling and a sweet sound, and you know it's flying.
So the line of scrimmage is the 46. Williamson trying to angle it out inside the 10. High, into the corner. Great job by Williamson. Has a receiver on the 3. Finding room up the sidelines to about the 17-yard line. So nice job by Williamson. He got it exactly where he wanted to in corner. But Todd, that's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. Western is trailing the visiting Mac Marauders 7-3. And you're watching Musk's Football on OUA TV. We're good. Yep.
I can't hear anything.
Welcome to the inaugural and the first of many diversity in sports conference. Congratulations to everybody for making this all become a reality.
I would highly recommend that people within the sport landscape in Canada definitely come out to this conference next year. There's so much good information that can be absorbed from here, and I think we can all be part of the change within Canada if we all actively engage in conversations like this.
OUA TV.
Coming
It's
to the
first and 10 for
diversity
Marauders
in
on their own
sports
17-yard line.
was
Keegan Hall, play action, rolling out, dumping it off high, but Jackson Cooling makes a nice catch right in your first down marker. And the Marauders look to move the sticks. Todd, your impressions on that first quarter. 7-3. Mac had a great first drive. Western had a decent first drive, bogged down. Neither offense has been able to do much since.
No, Western's offense has gone to their ground game, and they've only had 4 rushes in the first quarter, which is completely unexpected. I don't even think Mac would expect that. So it's a bit of a shootout between the 2 quarterbacks, and right now Hall's winning that shootout.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 28. 4 receivers to the left. They go in motion. Hall back pass. Under pressure. Throws it in the middle for the screen. Dangerous pass, but he connects.
Nice little center screen. They had 2 or 3 defenders all over the quarterback.
Jacob
Well
Mason
timed.
was the receiver, the fullback, able to get a reception. Let's take a look at the replay. A lot of traffic, but good job finding his receiver. Mac player down on the field. Just being shielded by the referee now. Can't quite see the number. Or maybe Everett Reed or Matthew Gale. I thought there was an 8 attached to that. So it's going to be second down and 5.
Tommy, back to your point about the shootout with the quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks are in the same range. Keegan Hall was 65 yards in the first quarter. Evan Hillock was 62 yards. 6 for 9 for Hall, 6 for 11 for Hillock. So it's shootout. It's a bit of a pass skelly out there for both of these offenses. I'm really surprised by the rushing numbers from Western, or the lack of rushing numbers.
And so you see, just in that, looked like the player just got rolled up on in the middle. If we could do that replay again, back to the booth, because I'm just trying to see what. Okay, let's take a look at this replay again. So we see Mason, the fullback, sets up, Hall connect, and then 89. There it is. The tight end is the one who rolled up on. So there's where he, just in the. So second down and 5. Keegan Hall and the Marauders with the ball, middle of the field on their 33-yard line. Paul Gleason and the Mustangs would like nothing more than stopping to get that offense of the Western team on the field. Empty backfield. Hall looking to his left. Quickly out flats. High. Oh, big hit. Great work by Max Nixon, the linebacker, and they're going to be short. Let's take a look at the Nixon hit.
That was number 181. Reed on the catch. A great catch it himself, but just not enough to get to that first down.
So it's going to be about a yard short yardage crew in for the Marauders. Naranchich, the quarterback, is going to come up in center. Little goose and go, try to find the seam. Looking for a hole. Oh, and I don't know if he got it.
That's tight.
That is tight, and I'm watching Reed walk down the line.
Like he just delayed a little bit too long. It wasn't explosive enough to get over the line.
So Coach Potasic gambles. And it was Eric Giebbi on the line who looks like he marked it short.
He's short for sure.
And it is short. First turnover of the game, and the Mustangs force the turnover by downs as the defense comes up big. And this has been the challenge the Marauders have had over the years, that short yardage situation. We've seen them change tactics this year, Todd, going with a quarterback, trying to find a crease. 1 of 2.
Yep. Just needs a little bit more explosiveness to get over his own offensive lineman. I don't think he realized. I think he thought he had it, but he just could not get far enough. And the Western defense had to stand. This will be good for their momentum. Western needs this right now in the second quarter to get something going.
So with turnover on the 37-yard line, Evan Hill puts his receivers in motion. Edwards with the handoff, looking for a crease. Edwards through. Edwards by one, straight on another, and finally taken down to the 25-yard line. Nice, tough run by the OUA's MVP from last year.
And that's what we're used to seeing, and that's what we're expecting when we watch Western football, is to have a big, strong run from your number 1 running back, and Keon Edwards did not disappoint.
So Hillock with Edwards beside him. 25-yard line right hash. Savon Magne-Jones comes across the formation, out into the flats. Magne-Jones with some room out there. To the 20, to the 15. Pushed out of bounds at about the 12. Nice design. Get the ball into your hands, playmaker in space, and it's a first down for the Mustangs.
Yep. Giving them a bit of their own medicine. The same thing worked for Mac down the field. And so now Western's giving it to their number 1 receiver, like you said, in a lot of space, and that equals a lot of yards when Magne-Jones hits the ball.
Bosa Jamal isolated to the right here. Hillock giving it to Edwards, looking to go up off tackle, not much there. And Edwards is dropped for a no gain on first down.
Nice job by McMaster defense there, penetrating into the backfield and reducing the amount of yards that Keon Edwards expected to get.
Loss of 1 officially on the play. So it's 7 down and 11.
McMaster has another player down on the field.
Has a player down. So Keon Edwards returning for a 4-year, Todd. Great numbers last year. The Larry Haler Award as the OUA MVP. And well, last year was more of a, alternating back, splitting a lot with Edward Winati. I'm not sure this year we'll see the same, although Keanu Yazbek had a great first game. Edwards really, they look to be the more of a primary back this year.
Yeah, they really spread the ball around last week against York. 6 backs touched the ball and was able to get quite a few yards. But obviously Edwards is the primary ball carrier. But Yazbek is a nice, like last year's relationship with the two running back, Yazbek offers just a little bit different style of running game. And so it is nice to give Edwards a break every once in a while and mix that style up.
So that looked like second-year player Alex Cheng was the injured Marauder, getting helped off the field. Both teams going with 8 defensive linemen. Although it wasn't as hot as they forecast, very warm night, and you're going to see a lot of rotation among the defensive lines. Getting those big boys some
You're
breaks.
going to see some dehydration issues for sure. Those boys are sweating it up, and hydration is going to be key. As Coach Haler used to say, drink until your belly sloshes, because thirst is not a good indicator of hydration.
Mac going blitz. Picked up again in space. Savon Magne-Jones couldn't hang on to it. So Savon Magne-Jones may have had the angle on the defensive back as well. Let's take a look at the replay.
I think he saw the end zone and thought he was heading upfield, and just off his fingertips came a little short with his hands, and it bounces off.
So Brian Garrity, 2 for 2 last week, 1 for 1 so far this week. Put the tee on the 20-yard line. Savon Magne-Jones has, 4 catches, has been targeted, Todd, 9 times, which, as your best receiver, you don't mind those numbers, just this little more productivity.
Yeah, and he would expect a few more of those catches to be secured than were today.
So Garrity's kick is good, expected from 20 yards, and it is now a 7-6. Field goal was a 20-yard. So Mac will take the ball on the 35-yard line. Last time they started on their 35-yard line following a successful field, they were able to march down 75 yards. And it was Jacob Patton with a 10-yard touchdown reception. 10:30 to play, second quarter. The Marauders leading the Mustangs 7-6. Mac coming 0-1, Western 1-0. Keegan Hall is the quarterback. Handing the ball off, looking for room, jumping under the tackle. That time was Braden Kelly, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe gets half a yard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he slipped there or tried to get underneath the defensive lineman. Regardless, he did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, they're going to give him a loss of half a yard. So technically, tackle for a loss on that play. It's going to be second down, just over 10 yards. Hall receivers to his right. Patton isolated to the left. Hall looking, quickly gets it out, has his receiver. Oh, big hit, but he's going to be a yard short again. So nice coverage that time. Matthew Gale with the 9-yard reception. And it's going to be 1 yard short. And let's see if Mac goes for it in the short yardage, and they're not. It looks like wholesale changes, and they're bringing on the punting team.
That was a nice route selection by Hall. He had 2 receivers short the corner.
Oh, it is short yardage situation. Narancic. Right up under center, needs a yard, takes a hand off, jumps over. He's able to get the first down.
That's what he wanted to do last time on the short yardage. He wasn't making that mistake again this time.
So Steven Narancic with the first down, make it a gain of 2. And the Marauders maintain possession. Good gamble by Coach Potasic, was not deterred by the last failure.
No, but when you got Western 7-6 right now at this point of the game, you're okay to take a couple of chances as a coach, and I think it's a good decision on his part.
So Kelly's the running back. Motions out of the backfield. He's replaced by Jacob Mason, the fullback. Hall rolls out, fires back across the middle, high, and then disrupted. Was that Jackson Finley coming from a safety position? It was. Jackson Finley last year, playing a lot of defense halfback, has moved over where Dan Valente has. And so let's watch this. Hall was a little high, and Valente went right through Patton.
Yeah. That's a bit of a suicide throw and catch. That the receiver's fully exposed, his ribs are open, and the safety's just licking his chops to come up and make that tackle.
That's the Harry Eibel in the huddle. Timeout Western. So Western decides on this second down and 10 to take a timeout. Didn't quite like the personnel out there. Riley McLeod now coming over to the sidelines. The middle linebacker going to have a discussion with Paul Gleason and the defensive coaching staff. Taking a look, Todd, at those defense backs. Richard Adubafor had an interception last week. Second-year starter, third-year player. Robert Panabaker, all-Canadian. He's back at the defensive halfback position. Chris Cameron Cogler, new player, defensive halfback, had a good game last week. Had a sack. Jordan Murphy had an interception. And Callum Jasminski, fifth-year defensive back.
Yeah, a few
Make-up starters along with Jackson Finley in the middle.
Yeah, a few new bodies in that defensive backfield. So this, hopefully will add a little bit of dynamics to what you lost with the players graduating. Last year they found themselves in a bit of trouble in that Vanier game with depth, but Dubofor listed as the only corner on his side of the field.
So 2nd and 10. Keegan Hall. Looking downhill. Checks down to his receiver. And then nicely tackled Lawrence Bowers-Kane. So gain of about 3. The under was there, but Lawrence Bowers-Kane, who's got great wheels for a linebacker, able to snuff out no gain after that.
Yeah.
So you just watch Mason on the catch, and he's not outrunning Bowers-Kane.
No, and to see that when the field opens up like that, that receiver looks like he's wide open in space, but that space is basically just over the line of scrimmage. So once you catch it and get tackled, you're really not gaining too much. He didn't have room to knife the field and get any extra yards after catch.
So Mohsen Jamal and Braden Masseri back deep for the Mustangs. Horvat, who's punting with a 44-yard average this week. Huge punt by Horvat, sending Masseri back to the 5-yard line. Horvat with a gorgeous punt, and good job by the MAC cover team. Turn of about 8 on the play, but Horvat got all of that one, and the Mustangs will start from deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that was a huge kick. That was over 50 yards. I mean, that was in the air, down the 5-yard line there almost, and he kicked from there about the 55, 45 on the other side of the field. So great kick. And as you know, this is a game of field position. That's a great way to pick up field position if you're not moving the ball.
Evan Hillick goes into the huddle with the call from the sidelines, and the Mustangs will start in their deepest position, their own 13-yard line. Magne Jones is wide to the left, Mohsen Jamal wide to the right, and Keanu Yazbek is the running back. Quick to the outside. Nice feet by Mohsen Jamal on the quick out. He's got 7 yards on the play, right 10 his toes on the 20. And it's going to be 2nd down and 3. That's a really nice timing play, Todd.
It's a great timing play. I mean, it was to the boundary side. The distance is a little bit shorter than the field side. But that corner was off 5 yards, never really let the cushion break down. And so the receiver had lots of time to turn out and lots of time to catch the ball.
So 2nd and short. Yazbek, the lone running back, taking the handoff, looking for a crease. Yazbek keeps his legs churning. Looks like he's close to the first down. Needed to get to the 23. If he's short by maybe the length of a football. And he does have a first down. The referee signals the chains can move. The Mustangs give themselves a little more breathing room in their territory. 6:44 to play in this first half. MAC scored on their first drive. Western has a pair of field goals, and it's 7-6 Marauders here at Western's home opener. Full crowd on the far side with the freshmen move into campus. Play action, Hillick looking for back to pass, drops it off. And it's Yazbek on the leak release up the middle. Gain of about 12 on the play, and the Mustangs are at the 30-yard line. Good patience by Evan Hillick.
Yeah, that was a nice find. He was just sitting in that little middle zone where the linebackers vacated, and he kind of saw him in the corner of his eye the last second, was able to throw it through that lane and get the yards they needed.
So 1st and 10 from the 37. Edwards back in the game, taking the handoff, looking for a crease. Puts his shoulder down, not much there. Stopped up by the MAC defense line. Gain of about 2. Let's take a look.
Yeah, the McMaster defensive line did a great job just stunning up those gaps and not giving the ball room to get through and gain any yards.
So 2nd and 8. Jamal isolated to the left, 3 isolated to the right. Quick to the outside, Edwards. But nicely angled out of bounds. Gain of about 3. Just looking for Edwards in the flat. But the linebacker did a really nice job angling out of bounds, limiting the gain. And the Mustangs with 4 yards to go are going to have punt.
Yeah, he was going to Edward right away on that. There's no decision making. He snapped that out to him in a hurry, but Edwards just not able to get to the edge and get extra yards before the linebacker closed on him. Nice play by the defense on that for the linebacker to get to him before he was able to get to the first down.
So here's A.J. Williamson. Let's see if there's any sort of adventure. Drops it. Does not take it up. It's going to be short. Mustangs going to have to watch out for no yards. Touches the back player, but there's going to be a flag on the play.
Yep.
Mustangs did not give yards. What Williamson on the drop just allows his coverage to get a little too far down the field.
Yeah.
The timing is just on coverage.
And I think he rushed it a little bit. He panned it a little bit once the ball was on the turf. He didn't have his normal stroke, which caused the ball to be short. And like you said, your coverage team was already well downfield. And that falls into traffic. Anything could happen. But usually it's going to be close enough to a purple jersey that it's going to be no yards call.
So with 4:57 to play in the first half, Mac leads Western 7-6, and you're watching Mustangs football on OUA TV. McKay, home opener for the Mustangs, who entered this contest 1-0. Mac was defeated by Windsor 0-1, but much sharper today as they lead 7-6 out of town. Windsor over Guelph 12-0. Waterloo, New York 22-17. Ottawa squeaking by Toronto 3-0. Keegan Hall with an empty backfield. Mustangs showing quick to the outside. There's Patton on the catch. Through two, and Patton almost has a first down. Are they going to give it to him? I think it is. Nicely choreographed by Coach Potasic. Looks like it's a first down.
Number 18 for Western, Chris Cameron Kogler, the defensive back, absolutely pancaked his offensive blocker, the receiver that came to get him. And he'll think twice before going to get him next time. But nice play by the two defensive players for Western.
So tight formation for the Marauders. Hall, play action, rolling back. Looking for time over the middle. Has his receiver. Caught, gain of about 12 on the play. And so Hall dialed in on this drive. It was Matthew Gale. And if we take a look at the replay, just on the crossing pattern.
A nice job by the receiver to hang on to that ball. He was squeaking through the hole, gets the ball last second. The safety comes up, makes him pay, and he hangs on to the ball for the first down. It was a nice play by him.
So considering how often Mac has run the ball, which is never, the play action I don't think is going to be effective at all. It still worked. Hall dumps it off. Had Mason in the flats. That's the fullback. And so able to get the ball out of bounds, gain of 14. They've handed the ball off, Todd, twice, maybe, and Western's still respecting that play action.
Yeah, they do a nice job leaking the running back out of the backfield, and he's in space on the field side, and the linebacker can't get to him in time, and he's able to pick up the first down. Once you get to space on the field side after crossing the formation, it's tough to make a play unless you have a DB sitting in his zone there.
So Keegan Hall, first down. This time hands the ball off. And Kelly up the middle. Gain of about 3 on the play. We'll make it 3. And it's going to be second down and 7.
We got Western offensive linemen slow to get up.
So look at the Western, looked like Jake Olmstead, second-year defensive tackle, got rolled up on just on the end there. Make the game 3, close to 4. It's going to be second down and 6. Long 6, short 7, maybe.
7 and 6 on the 20-yard line. I think Coach Potasic kind of likes where he is right now. The playbook is open, and he's got options. What is Gleason going to put in to the defense to try and take away a first down in the red zone?
So Keegan Hall off to a nice start, 14 of 17, 121 yards in this first half. So Olmstead able to walk off under his own power. His brother is on the offensive line. So Matt Olmstead is the starting guard.
Match feeding those boys at home growing up?
I can only imagine the wrestling matches in the family room.
Probably went through some furniture.
Second and 6. Kelly offset to the right. Receivers go motion. Hall on the draw. Kelly taken down from behind. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe yard. Todd, little cute.
Yeah, but you know what? Not a terrible decision. One offensive lineman just sort of got off of his block a little early, and the defensive tackle was able to sort of get underneath and get the leg of the running back.
So nice play there by Max von Muhldorfer. Getting under his block and able to bring it down. So last week, Michael Horvat, 3 of 5. This was from 33 yards. The second-year kicker has this one teed up at the 26-yard line. Snap is back, hold is down, is up. It's good. And Mac puts 3 on board, and their lead is back to 4 points. 2:29 to play in this first half, and it's the Marauders 10 and the Mustangs 6.
I think Western's going to want to get. This is an important series for the Mustangs. They're going to get some momentum going into the half here. I wonder if they're going to get back to their bread and butter and try and enforce their will on Mac a little here to gain some momentum.
But I have to say, I mean, the Mac run defense has been stouter
They've been
this
great
year than in the last couple of years. It's been difficult for the running backs to get on track. So Mac bringing pressure from the backside. Hill quickly to the outside. Jamal on the catch. It's outside. Gain of 11, and it's going to be a first down. The quick feet of Mosa and Jamal.
And the defensive back just came up a little short, assumed he was going out of bounds, and I think he sort of left him, and he probably should have forced him out of bounds a yard earlier, which gave Western the first down. You'll see that in video, and won't be too happy.
So play action. 2 lats. There's Magne Jones. Can't keep his feet, but gain of 5. Make it closer to 4. It's second down and 6.
Yeah.
So Magne Jones will look back on this happen. It'll be forgettable. The 2-time All-Canadian is such a dynamic player. We're used to seeing such smoothness.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of bobbles, a drop, a monitor. It's second and 6. Hillick looking over the defense. Mac looking to bring pressure quickly to the outside. There's Masseri. Nicely blocked, and there's Braden Masseri through down to the 40, and Masseri down to about the 37-yard line on the wide receiver screen.
That was a great block by Seth Robertson on the left side of the field. He drove his defensive downfield, which opened up the lane for receiver to get that first down.
So the Mustang offense starting to get on track late here in this first half. 1:55 to play. Evan Hillick from the Marauder 38-yard line. Play action. Hillick stepping up. Going deep. Savon Magne Jones just one step too far beyond the defensive back. And again, picking on Johan Shimbalinga. It's 3 plays in a row. They've targeted number 4, and it is second and 10.
He just started to lose his legs a little bit. One got to the purple turf, and he just cost him a little bit of speed, which allowed the ball to sail a little bit over his hands.
And Savon Magne Jones that time went the long way outside of Shimbalinga, but just couldn't get back on track. So second and 10. Mac just showing 4 up rush. Hillick to the flats. He's got Magne Jones who makes the catch, and he's tackled down for a gain of 11. First down. So go to your best player when you need the yards. 1:39 play. Time should not be a factor.
No, they're moving the sticks now. They're going with a hurry-up offense, and with this momentum, I hope Western's hoping that they can convert on this series.
Mac bringing pressure. Hillick stepping up into the pocket. Ooh, just outside again. Magne Jones was a little outside. Hillick was wide on the delivery, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he was well covered by the defensive back, but to your point, just outside of his fingertips. And it's almost like he wasn't expecting the ball to get there that quickly.
Well, with Hillick, you have to expect the fastball every time. 3 receivers to the left. Mack showing pressure. Hillick gets the call and then backs off to see what they're presenting. It's Masseri outside, Robertson inside of him, and then it's Savon Magne Jones, and Western doesn't like what see. A little bit of confusion, and so it's a tout Mustangs with 1:26 to play in this first half. Well, they've targeted Savon Magne Jones a lot. I think that's now 11 times, according to 13 of 22 throws have from Hillick attempting to connect with Savon Magne Jones. But the guy I've been impressed with and his footwork, Mohsen Jamal. They've run that out a couple of times, and Jamal has been able to leverage that either 4 or very close to a first down. Don't be surprised maybe here, Todd, going back to Jamal. Drive your defender off. Jamal stops up at 8, and then you hope he just can maneuver for that first.
Yeah, and you're likely not going to have your best receiver covering him because you have so many weapons on the other side of the field that you have to account for. So it almost does create a nice little mismatch for a young but highly skilled receiver that you couldn't take advantage of. And like you said, great feet, can make you miss. And, as a defensive back in space, get two-way on a defensive back and you can gain yards.
A guy who's today so far as well, Seth Robertson, who had 2 touchdowns last week, played a lot last year. We saw him start last year after getting some spot service before that. So 2nd and 10, receivers go in motion. Hillick has time. He's got Jamal to the outside, and then Jamal down the sidelines. He forced out of bounds at the 9. There's a flag.
We got a little face mask, perhaps.
So it's a first down. So here's Jamal.
Yeah, I think he got a piece of the face mask, so it's probably.
I'm not sure about that. If we were close. Yeah, he says he got the face mask. Oh, it's against.
Yeah, the defensive
player.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be ball on the 1-yard line.
And it was really an unnecessary penalty because he was already on his way out of bounds.
So, Mohsen Jamal, I'm going to take, Todd, for the only time this season, the Clairvoyant Award.
Number 5?
That I called the play correctly. That I successfully predicted who they were going to target and what the play was going to be. This will never happen again for the rest of the year.
I thought you were predicting who's going to run the ball on this next play.
Oh, boy.
Being clairvoyant, I think it's going to be number 5, Keon Edwards.
Numero 5, Edwards. High snap, Edwards. On and off. Edwards met at the line. Boy, just couldn't knife through. Good play.
He could not knife through, indeed,
no.
Because there was 2
McMaster
Marauders in his way.
Not a great job by the Mustang offense line. 2 guys coming free. So it's 2nd down. Jerome Rancourt is going to be the short yardage quarterback in this situation. This is what they call the demon formation. Santorini right in the blocking back position. Cole comes off the edge. Edwards on the carry. Edwards carries it into the end zone. Touchdown Mustangs. And just under a minute to play in the first half. The Mustangs retake the lead with the OA MVP for last year, getting his 2nd touchdown of the year. Let's take a look at the replay. Coleman off the edge.
And that's what you'd expect when you give Keon Edwards the ball. That time the offensive line made a much better push. The momentum went into the end zone, and Keon Edwards was able to follow up for the 6 points.
So Edwards, with a clear path into the end zone, able to have his momentum, take him over the goal line. And it is 12-10. Garrity, who was 11 for 11 last week against the Lions, in for his first extra point attempt of the game. And he's good. Brian Garrett, 24th point of the year, his 7th the game today, and the Mustangs, with just under a minute to play in this first half, lead the Marauders now 13-10, thanks to Keon Edwards and that 1-yard touchdown punch. Not sure about the key play of that drive, but on 2nd and 10, Mohsen Jamal, right, was able to get that out, dance down the sideline, drew a unnecessary roughness face mask penalty, and that set the Mustangs up right at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not pretty how you get it, but you know what? yards count and the points count at the end of the day, and Western will be glad to get those points back to go into halftime with the lead. Well, it's good to see the horses.
So Braden Kelly and Isaiah Shields are the deep return. 12 times Brian Garrity kicked off last week. As a sign of mercy, kicked it out of bounds 6 times. Isaiah Shields from the 14 looking for a crease up the middle, and Shields gets through to the 35. Good return by Isaiah Shields, first year defensive back. And so Keegan Hall, with 54 seconds left, will come out to lead the Marauders in the last minute. Let's take a look at the replay from the end zone shot. Oh, you see a nice little crease there, Coach.
Yeah, the end shot is always the best shot to watch. So they're starting with the ball on the 35. Let's see if Matt can move the ball down the field with a minute to go.
So Cooling is wide to the left. Hall with a tight formation. Handing the ball off. Kelly on a spin move. Some yards. Is that Kelly's longest run of the game? 5 yards on the play. And not being aggressive on that first play. No time for the thing. I think Mac, we can tell the posture right here, looking to take as much time as possible off the clock.
Yeah, they're not in a hurry. They're not going for it downfield. Likely just going to run this half out and be content going in with being 3 points.
So Hall back to pass. Has time out to the sidelines. Receiver Cooling sits down at the 52-yard line. 28 seconds left. Oh, that was an aggressive play.
Yeah.
Clock is going to stop. It'll start on the referee's whistle when the ball is placed. Cooling stayed in bounds. Ball boys run off the field. Timeout. So instead of quickly going or clocking the ball, Mac decides to take a timeout. 27.9 seconds left. Ball on the 52-yard line. So let's take a look at the replay. Jackson Cooling, again out of Burlington Nelson on that deep hook.
You know the defense is going to be in a zone because they're prevent. The DBs are going to be off. You're going to have room underneath. So, yeah, why not take a shot down the field? And all they want to probably, at the very worst at this point, is get field position right so they can get 3 points and even it up before the half.
Mac will have choice coming in for the second half, so could look to make this back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, and going into the halftime with a little momentum never hurts. Helps keep the spirits of the boys up. And you come out for that second half, get the ball, hope to do it again to start the second half.
So 1st and 10. Press coverage on the far side. Keegan Hall, play action. Looking to go to the outside, Cooling. Oh, nice catch by Cooling down at his... But the referee, is he going to mark him out of bounds? Kind of surprised he did. Thought he was tackled in bounds. So let's see Jacob Cooling. Nice catch on this play on that deep out. Should have been called in bounds. It is.
Yeah.
So the referee did blow the whistle.
Yeah.
So Keegan Hall, receivers in motion. Looking to his left, now back to his right. Hall rolling out to right. Hall looking downfield. Throw it at the receiver. Is he inbound or out of bounds?
I think he's in bounds.
So 8.5 seconds left. So here's Hall. That's rolling out to the right. Hall Schmidt with the pressure. Oh, and it was Patton with the catch. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 41, and it's a timeout McMaster. And if you are Coach Potasic, what's your line you're looking to get to? The 5? The 30?
If you can get to the 30, that makes for a reasonable opportunity to kick that field goal. You're on the boundary side, Hall's throwing them. Maybe you're just going to take one more play, sort of like boundary side out route to get another 5 or 7 yards to set yourself up in a position to get in that range. But we'll see.
Talking to Rob Underhill, one of the MAC coaches before the game, and he said their kicker, Horvat, better punter than he is a kicker. Doesn't quite have the same leg, or I guess smooths as a place kicker as he does. He's not quite Brian Garrity level. So I'm thinking maybe their target line is the 30. And backfield. Now Patton comes in to join Hall. Goes out to the sidelines. Hall back to pass. Steps up. Rotate around. Throws it out of bounds. No one was there. They could almost call that. So 4 seconds left. Boy, this is...
Yeah, and as expected, he was going to at that short boundary side to make that throw, but just the receiver wasn't there.
So it's a 49-yard field goal. So Masseri will be the lone man. This just need to get it out of the end zone. This is a lot of confidence in your second-year kicker's leg. He's 3 of 5 last week, his longest from just 3 yards. This one from 49.
Yeah, let's throw him in the deep end and see what he come up with.
Simon Ryman is the snapper, and it is good.
Good for him.
Flag on the play, however.
Oh.
So it's going to be on the roughing the kicker is going to be the call. That'll be probably enforced on the contacting the kicker. So it will not be enforced. So Mac ties it up on the final play of the second half. It's Western 13, McMaster 13, and this is Mustangs football on OUA TV.
Welcome to the inaugural and the first of many diversity in sports conference. Congratulations to everybody for making this all become a reality.
I would highly recommend that people within the sport landscape in Canada definitely come out to this conference next year. There's so much good information that can be absorbed from here, and I think we can all be part of the change within Canada if we all actively engage in conversations like this.
Coming to the Diversity in Sports Conference was one of the best experiences I ever had after coming to Canada. The people I was able to meet, the people I was able to network with, friends I made, and the learnings I gained were tremendous.
Sign up right now. Follow them on whatever social media platform they are. Email the OUA, contact them, contact whoever you need to contact when they're getting ticket sales again. And get here. This is a must do every single year. Everyone needs to be here. We need to pack this place and get at it again in 2024.
We don't have to work alone. We can do this together. And it shows by the numbers that are here that we want to improve and we want to make a better future for all Canadians. Doesn't matter where they're from, but that's the goal that we have. So thank you so much for coming to the inaugural conference, and dare I say, see you next year.
Diversity in sports!
Listen, You're more than your successes. You're more than your failures.
Everything you got.
You're the work. It's dirty work. It's work that hurts. Work that defines you.
Good, bro.
It's that fire that burns inside you.
One more.
Be you. Always been you. You're the work. You want that smoke? Give him that fire.
Welcome back to halftime. It is Western United 13 here at Haler Samodiuk Memorial Field, Western Alumni Stadium. The Mustangs opened the scoring 3:30 into the first quarter. Brian Garrity with a 32-yard field goal, 3-0. On their first possession, the Marauders entered back. Jacob Patton, 10 yards from Keegan Hall, and it was 7-3 Marauders. So let's take a look at Brian Garrity then had a 20 field goal, cutting the lead to 7-6. Michael Horvat from 26 yards in the second quarter made it 10-6. And then, with 59 seconds to play in the first half, Keon Edwards from 1 yard out made it 13-10. But a nice lightning drive by the Marauders, Todd. 49-yard field goal was the result from Michael Horvat, and we're tied 13-13.
Yeah, I think if you had told me at the start of this game that Western and Mac would be tied 13-13 and a half, I would not have believed you. I also would not have believed that Western would only have 49 yards of rushing on the ground. And maybe I would have believed that Hall and Hillick would be about tied. Hillick with 161 yards. Sorry, Hall 161 yards, Hillick with 167. I might have believed that. But a net gain in yardage, would not expect Western and Mac to be close on the score sheet.
Yeah, just a one turnover as well. It was a turnover on downs when Mac tried to convert on the third down, and one was caught short, and Western took over and was able to squeeze a field goal out of it. So, all right, so the first touchdown, as we said, Jacob Patton, 10 yards from Keegan Hall, just deep in the end zone, beat his defender, and that was the first score. Now we watch Keon Edwards with a little momentum behind him, take the 1 yard plunge, gave the Mustangs the lead. And those were the only two majors after Western scored 12 against the Lions. Although Mac only scored one last week, had 3 field goals and touchdown last week. Touchdowns are hard to come by. Is for half.
One other thing that stands out, Tommy, and again, I don't think we saw this last year and didn't expect to see it this year, is the 4 receivers for McMaster that have caught balls today, 46 yards, 38, 35, and 21 yards, the longest being 12, 17, 18, and 14. Each of those receivers have longest yard gains, which means that West's given up a lot of yards per catch in some cases and allowing a couple of sort of explosive plays downfield. Western's pretty much matching them as well, 61, 63 yards, 22, and 14. Typical of Western, typical of what you would expect to see, but to have those two teams matching each other in that category, unexpected.
Well, one thing I would say for the Mustangs, although their running game has not gotten on track, although Mustangs had a running game on track, they always looked almost ready to break it. And Matt just don't see the threat of a running game. And I think for Western as well, Hillick has been very good but the connection between himself and Magne Jones just the
Yeah, he's doing a lot too, right? He's going to that well a lot, and we certainly would expect in normal times Magne Jones to make more of his catches, but I think the timing's just off a little bit, right? I mean, he didn't get as many targets last week because they had a lot of backs in, and so, without an exhibition game anymore, that opportunity to polish up for the second game of the season just hasn't been there. And Magne Jones looks just a little bit tired, not able to get that extra step to get his fingers on the ball. And, I don't think he would expect that himself either.
All right, so let's look ahead into the second half. Your Coach Potasic, your Coach Marshall, I think Coach Steph thinking pretty good right now, 13-13 considering what's happened the last couple years between Mac and Western. What's your adjustment if you're McMaster? And then flip it over, what's your adjustment?
Well, first of all, if I'm him, I'm going into that change room right now pretty excited. I'm bringing some energy into that change room. I'm telling those guys did a heck of a job considering where you're playing and who you're playing. So let's continue that momentum into this half and keep limiting, for example, Meg Jones and defensive line. Continue to do what you're doing to limit Keon Edwards on the game, and we can stay in this. Offensive line, continue to protect so that you can get the ball downfield, because if you're going to have a one-dimensional game in the air, you've got to continue to do it.
Second half kickoff coming up in 5 minutes. Western and Mac tied at 13 in the first home game for Western of the 2023 football season. You're listening to Mustangs Football on OUA TV.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
Listen, you're more than your successes. You're more than your failures.
Everything you got.
You got this.
You're the work.
All right, dig deep.
It's dirty work. Work that hurts. Work that defines you.
Good, bro.
It's that fire that burns inside you.
One more.
Be you. It's always been you. You're the work. Give him that body.
13 here at Haler Samodiuk Memorial Field, Western Alumni Stadium. Brian Garrity teeing it up on the 30. So it'll be the penalty enforced, 10 yards. When we look at the out-of-town scoreboard, Windsor is up on Guelph, 17-1. Waterloo barely over York, 22-17, and Ottawa over Toronto, 9-3. So Garrity, the kickoff. Down to the 13-yard line, looking to go wide on the return is Shields. Oh, and there is a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against the Marauders.
Hold on number 9.
A wide field return by Isaiah Shields. All right, it's going to be 10 yards at the point of
and I believe
foul.
that was Sean Underhill on the hold on that play. Sean Underhill, the son of Underhill.
So following the penalty, it's going to be a first down for the Marauders. Our own 20-yard line, Keith Hall, who had a terrific first half, 17-22, 161 yards, 1 touchdown. That was to his favorite target, Jacob Patton, from 10 yards out. So the Marauders on first down play action. Hall going down the middle, has the reception. Patton, it looks like, no, it is not. It is Matthew Gale for a gain of 16 yards, and it's a first down.
Yeah, and they're coming out with almost the identical plays that started the first half with, and that is just this RPO with a little play action and then just zipping the ball into the open zone, the linebacker between the linebacker and the half, right in the seam.
So first and 10, Hall with 4 receivers to his right. Looking to the short side, has one right in the middle, dumps it off, and it gets about 9, maybe 10 yards on the second for Everett Reed. And they're going to move the sticks. It's a first down for the Marauders.
Yeah, and the linebacker had a little sun turf there. Sometimes when the turf gets a little humid or a little dewy from this time of night, it gets kind of slick. So linebacker there trying to chase the receiver down, slips, and the receiver is able to pick up a few extra yards.
Couple completions to start this half for Keegan Hall, picking up where he left off in that first half. Ball's at 48. Lawrence Bowers Kane coming on the late Brit. Going down the middle. Oh, and it's going to be interference. That was Jasinski, the cornerback who got beat to the inside. Callum Jasinski, they just had a step on him. And so let's take a look at the replay. Just got his hands around the shoulder pads.
Yeah, there's an old saying, if you think you're going to get beat, grab those pads and take the 15 yards. It's better than a touchdown.
Talking about slippery turf, I'm watching Lawrence Bowers Kane bringing pressure from the outside. Could not get his wheels going. He looked like someone trying to leave Burning Man out in Nevada this week, Todd, with the record rains.
That was a little muddier than this field, but same effect.
No traction. So it's going to be first down for the Marauders. Inside of Mustang territory, they have the ball on the Stangs' 47-yard line, far hash. Kelly is back. Just right behind Keegan Hall, now off to his left. Mustangs look to bring pressure again. Hall takes a big hit, but comes fast. And there's a flag after the play. Nixon delivered the blow, and it'll be unnecessary roughness. So tag 15 after the 9-yard catch.
And again, great job by Hall. He was in his face. He was already on his way down. He's able to zip it off his back foot and get the ball to the receiver, again, in the middle zone before he got crunched by the Western linebacker.
Wow, his height from referee. Hall that time leaned back while he threw it. Great accuracy with that unconventional release point.
But again, for a young quarterback, great resolve to stand in there, great patience, and great ability to get the ball downfield on target.
So just outside the Mustangs red zone, first down on the 23 following the completion, an unnecessary roughness penalty. Receivers go in motion. Hall, play action, under pressure, escapes the backside rush, dumps it off, out of bounds.
I feel like Hall could have handed that one off. It was an inside zone. I feel like he could have handed that ball off to the running back and keep Western's defense honest. There was a gap there. I think he got through, but You know, he's a throwing quarterback. He's always prone to want to throw, and maybe should have just given that left ball in the pocket of the running back.
Soren Holschmidt was just a half step late on that pressure. So it's 2nd and 10. Mustangs looking to bend but not break here. Egan Hall looking over the defense. Western bringing pressure right up the middle. Picked up well. Receiver in the end zone. Just out of the reach. Had the Mustang defender turn the wrong way. Egan Hall could not connect, and it's going to be 3rd down.
It was almost like the receiver couldn't see the ball because the receiver had position.
Jackson Cooling was the intended target.
He, by all accounts, probably could have gone up and should have gone up to get that ball, but he couldn't see it in time to redirect and go up for it. But he had the Western DB beat. He wasn't behind him, but he had him beat in front of him.
So here's Michael Horvat, who just as halftime expired, connected from 49 yards. This one is well within his comfort zone at 3 yards. It's his 3rd field goal attempt of the day. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it's good. And McMaster has established a 3-point bulge, 11:47 to play in the 3rd quarter, and it's the Marauders 16 and the Mustangs 13.
All right, so interested to see what Western's going to come out and do on this first series of the second half. Are they going to get back to their old style of play and just try and grind that ball and, again, sort of express their will on the McMaster defense, or are they going to stick what they did in the first half of this game and that's sling the ball downfield?
So from their 35-yard line, Evan Hillick, who had a productive first half, 15 of 23. They're looking at one first down the middle, low, but sliding is Mo Jamal, and he's got a gain of 15 yards for a first down. Mohsen Jamal, the 2nd favorite target. Watch on this deep in, the dig.
Nice play. Just, again, the receiver runs that post, gets into the soft zone. No defenders around, is able to catch the ball. It was almost a little short, but he was able to snag it.
Magne Jones to the left, Jamal to the right. Play action. Hillick has time. Going wide. There is Savon Magne Jones to the 45, and then takes on his defender, and he's out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Lot of respect for Savon Magne Jones. You saw immediately the defender, number 13, Josh Cumber, back way off.
Yeah, that defensive back is off really far. To the field side, way downfield. He can tighten up there. He's got lots of time to react on the ball. That takes a while for the ball to get out there.
So to the short field, Magne Jones, play action. Hillick has time. To the sidelines, Ray Shake with the catch. His first catch of the season. And it's going to be down to the 26-yard line. So Rayshawn Blake with his first catch of the season on a deep out. Does a good job, Todd, of shielding the defender with his body.
Yeah, the defender was on his back. Hillick did a great job of zipping that ball in fast, so he was able to get the ball there before the defender could close.
Keon Edwards, a decoy for most of the game. Hillick under pressure, throws it wide. Just had to get rid of it. Looking for Savon Magne Jones, but pressured the miss with that play, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Plus, the defensive lineman or the linebacker was able to give that running back or that receiver a shoulder as he was running out, so it kind of threw him off of his route, and it's enough to just sort of disrupt the play.
High call the MAC defense to bring pressure. So 2nd and 10, MAC leading 16-13. Western on the McMaster 25-yard line. Receivers go in motion. Hillick, play action. Into the corner. There's Seth Robertson, touchdown, right down the seam. Easy peasy for Evan Hillick. And so Robertson with his 2nd catch of the day and his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Yeah, it looked like they had a nice little crossing pattern with the receivers that was enough to sort of confuse the defenders, and he was able to get into that post route, and one corner had to decide who to cover out of 2 receivers.
So 9:56, the time of touchdown. Western up 9-16 with the Ekpo pending. Brian Garrity was perfect, 11 of 11 last week. He is 1 of 1 this week. Let's make it 2 of 2. And so the Mustangs back on top by 4 points early on in this 3rd quarter. Well, we wanted to see if the Mustangs were going to come out and establish any sort of running game, Todd, and they doubled down on the passing attack. And, well, to Evan Hillick's credit, he was almost perfect on that first drive.
Yeah, hey, when you got two of the quarterbacks in the league playing each other, why not let them just have a shootout against each other and see who can do a better job? And on that series, obviously Hillock got the better of it, and now it's Max. It's Hall's turn to see if he can come back and do the same thing by defense.
19 of 28 for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was a 25-yard connection to Seth Robertson. 75 yards in total for the drive when they started their own 35-yard line following the Mac field goal. So Garrity tees it up on the far hash of us, 45-yard line. Little thinner crowd over on the student side, but still good presence over there. Sarah Garrity gets into it deep, down to about the 2-yard line. And Western, you can see with a head of steam, but there's a crease down the sideline. Good return by the Marauders, and over midfield, taken out of bounds at the 50. Nice work by the Marauder return team.
Yeah, great return. The returner got a full head of steam. There was one defender that was able to make the tackle, and I don't know if he slipped or he kind of got cut down. And then the returner was able to kind of get down that lane and just get a full head of steam and pick up a lot of yards.
The backup defensive back, first-year player Isaiah Shields with the return. So they'll make the return officially 57 yards. They'll start on the Mustang 51-yard line. Keegan Hall with 4 receivers to his right. Western just rushing 4, getting some pressure. Batted down at the line. What's the rule? If you can't get there, get your hands up?
Yeah, and the receiver just sort of tripped over a Western defender's feet, I think. It was incidental, but just enough that he fell and he was able to complete the route with the ball.
Looked like the first-year defensive tackle was able to get them down there. So 2nd and 10. Cooling and Patton are the favorite targets of Hall so far today. See if he tries to go back to one of those 2 receivers. Hall has some time. Drop back off his back foot and nothing there. Great defense by the Mustangs.
Yeah, the defender was draped over the back of the receiver, but legally so. There was no flag, but in a great position, was able to get a hand in there and not allow the receiver to catch the ball. That would have been a first down had he caught it. No, it would have been short of a first down anyways, but now it's a 3rd down and 10.
So Jamal is back. Mohsen Jamal standing on about his 2. Braden Massey standing in the middle of the field on about the 5. So nice punt. There's Jamal at the 4-yard line looking for some room down the sidelines. Gets a little breathing room, out of bounds. They're going to say at the 14-yard line. And so Evan Hillock coming off a touchdown on last drive, back to lead the Mustangs in not such great field position to start the second drive of the second half.
No, starting with the ball on 19, but you know what? Hillock has the momentum now, and let's see if he can get themselves out of this red zone position, gain some more field position.
So starting out on their 14-yard line, and again, nice punt. It was Michael Horvat who's had a good game, kicking both from the ground and in the air. Hillock looking with time, going deep over the top. He's got Jamal with the catch. Mo Jamal, he's at the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, and Mo Jamal backwards into the end zone. Touchdown. 96 yards. Evan Hillock to Mo Jamal. And this stadium has gone electric. So one-on-one on the outside, Todd. Play action.
And he just got the defender in a hurry. I mean, he was going downfield. It was play action. Maybe he froze that corner. But that mismatch we talked about earlier against not their number 1 defensive back, not their number 1 corner, allowed him to get downfield. And he caught that ball in stride. I don't think Coach Marshall will be too happy about the celebrating into the end zone. But it's another 7 points for Western. And again, they steal a little bit more
high
momentum.
Snap. Nice job by Seth Robertson to get it down, though. Good work by Robertson. And it's going to be Brian Garrity, his 3rd extra point. But credit to Seth Robertson on a high snap there to secure it. So Mo Jamal with the 96 touchdown, and I think there may be a little conversation that just run forward into the end zone. Get there as fast as possible from A to B.
Yeah, we haven't had the so far. So act like we've been there before. We'll be there again. And the fifth-year player out of Laurier Secondary School from London, though, puts a bit of an exclamation point on momentum in the second half.
Well, Johan Shimbalenga, number 4, seems to be the target of the Mustang pass attack. We've seen a number of plays where it's either Jamal on him or Savon Magnay-Jones on him, where they're really looking to where is he on the field because they really believe they have a mismatch from any of their big receivers.
Right, yeah, exactly. And clearly that was the case on that play. And I don't think I'm sure we'll probably see them going back to him again the rest of this half. Now, as a DB, as a corner, you got to forget that play and move on to the next one. Be ready.
What did Taylor Swift say? Shake it off. Shake it off. So here's Shields on the return. Mustangs not going to give up the long one this time. So good kickoff by Garrity down near the goal line. Shields gets it out to the 20, and it's going to be first down for Keegan Hall. So let's take a look at touchdown one more time. He is 2 strides plus beyond Shimbalga. And at 20-10, he goes backwards.
Yeah,
if he had fallen, I'm not sure we would have seen Mo Jamal for the rest of the game.
The corner was definitely out of position on that. I mean, he was beat.
So
and he had an opportunity to make the tackle. But
Mac needs an answer here, Todd. After back-to-back touchdowns by the Mustangs, Keegan Hall handing the ball off. Looking for room on the outside. Best run by the Marauders. And it's going to be first ever. Flag is on the play, and it's going to back. No wonder there was such a hole. There was a hold. So holding on the Marauders. Yeah. Can't tackle a guy from that side of the ball.
No wonder he got free. So this is not the penalty you want.
No.
At this end of the field, when you're trying to get momentum back from Western and you're sticking yourself further back into the red zone.
So first and 20 from the 12-yard line. Coach Potasic looking to quickly stem the bleeding here. Kelly, offset to the left from Hall. Taking the handoff. And then met by a swarm of Mustangs. No gain on the play. In fact, maybe a loss of one. And it's going to be second and long. Lawrence Bowers-Kane leading the attack there.
Interesting that's where Hall decides to give the ball off to the running back so deep in your own red zone. Second and 20. It's a long distance to get the first down now. You kind of put yourself in a bad position, so you know he's going to come out throwing now.
Are you bringing pressure here, or are you forcing everything in front of you?
Well, the question is Gleese going to go to a zone or a man defense here because Hall's been pretty good at finding those zones.
So with 3 receivers to his right, Hall on the draw play, back to his back, and he loses a yard again. So the Marauders go conservative. There's a flag on the play. It's going to be unnecessary roughness against the Marauders as a Mustang helmet had come ripping off.
So it sounds like it might be a face mask on both sides of the ball.
What a terrible penalty for the Mustangs to give up. On a draw play. This is an unforced error.
Yeah, Western had them pinned. It was going to be 3rd and long
and
from about the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And that was going to be
what a great defensive stand, nullified by a dumb penalty. So, Mack gets a break. First down. Hall back to pass, under pressure, drops it off. There's Cooling on the crossing pattern. Looks to get out of bounds just at the 10-yard mark, and it's going to be a first down for the Marauders. So let's see if Mack can take advantage of the Western miscue.
And again, nice protection by the McMaster offensive line, giving Hall time to let that play develop and allow the receiver to get open.
Not often do you want to tell your receivers, when you talk about running north-south, running north instead of south. However, Cooling had the advantage that time. He was able to just get around the Mustang defender. So first and 10 Western bringing a little pressure here. Keegan Hall looking to go deep. Double coverage. Oh, and it's almost intercepted. Great play that time. I think Jasinski dropped back from his position. Should have maybe had it. So there's 2 breaks that Mac has had on this drive. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Callum Jasinski, great read by the 5th-year transfer player on that play.
Yeah, you had 2 defensive backs sitting there. The corner that just sort of held in the flat and the safety that was coming over. And between the 2 of them, they were able to squeeze the offensive player out and knock down that ball.
So 5:44 to play in this 3rd quarter. Western leading now 27-16. It's 2nd and 10. Keegan back to pass. Going down the sidelines. Timing play, and he caught it. Nice catch. Well timed, and that was Patton again. Jacob Patton. Let's take a look at the replay down the sidelines.
Wow,
just sat down.
Great play. He's on the turf. He comes back for the ball. Got a defender coming from the inside ready to take his head off, and the ball's just able to thread through, and he catches it from his butt.
Mustangs have had 2 opportunities to end this drive. Failed on both, once by a penalty, once by a dropped interception, and Mac is now back in Mustang territory. 1st down on the 48. Hall looking to his right. Down the middle. Receiver. Gain of 12 on the reception, and it's 1st down, McMaster.
A nice job by the receiver, just settling in between the 2 linebackers, and literally those linebackers are less than 10 yards apart, and Hall is able to get the ball in there.
Dima Ignatiotovic. So his first reception of the game. Ignatiotovic. Ball's on the 35-yard line, middle of the field. A couple of Western mistakes have allowed this drive to continue. Keegan Hall, back pass, under a little pressure, steps back, throws a wobbler, but it's drop 5. Oh, broken up nicely. I think Jasinski may have got a hand in there right at the end. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Let's take a look, Todd.
Yeah, the ball seemed to have just floated in there. Little slow. It took a little bit too long to get there, and that gave the defensive back an opportunity to come back and make a play on it.
So either Jasinski or perhaps Jackson Finley, when he was coming across from the safety position, was able to knock it free on the blow-by.
Yeah, that was a bit of a wobbler out of Hall since that did help them.
So 2nd and 10. Empty backfield. Hall, quick set to the sidelines. Receiver's going to be short, but strong arms of Dubofor, and he gets out of bounds with a 1st down. Richard Dubofor.
Dubofor's holding his calf. That's not what you want to see right now. And here's why. Western has dressed only 3 corners today on the depth chart. They've got 8 running backs dressed, but only 3 corners. Your number 1 corner of which has just gone down with a calf, obviously probably a Charlie horse from dehydration. You kind of put yourself in a position where you got to bring your backup on.
So Jake Saunders.
And move some people around. I would imagine Saunders will go to the field side and they'll bump over to replace a Dubofor because he'll have to go off for a couple of plays.
There's a 2nd Mustang down as well.
I think the heat and the humidity starting to get to some of the players here later in the game. Again, not being used to this humidity this season during training camp.
So 3:57 to play in this 3rd quarter. Western had pinned. It was 2nd down and long. It was a draw play, and Western called for a face mask on the tackle when it was a group effort. So it's Unstead, who went down once earlier in the game. He's slow to get up, but now walking off under his own power. And a Dubofor just kind of hopping around on the sidelines, not sure if it's a calf or a cramp that has gotten him. Jake Saunders, 2nd-year defensive back. He started at the last year. Will be in at the boundary corner, taking a Dubofor position straight up. So Hall back to pass, 1st down. Batted ball, almost Riley McLeod just couldn't get there. Good pressure up the middle again. Riley McLeod was looking to secure the ball, but couldn't. It's 2nd and 10.
That ball was just floating there. You want that ball so bad, but you just can't get your body to it.
Again, making the play was Malcolm Fraser. I think that's his 2nd deflected ball.
He's had his hand up a few times today, yeah, and it's certainly, if he hasn't touched the ball, it has affected the vision of the receiver to get the ball cleanly.
Malcolm Fraser is as good as a defensive tackle for a 1st-year player, Todd.
Yeah.
We have seen it a long time. 2nd and 10. Bringing a little pressure. Hall able to step up. Hall stumbles through and is taken down. Hall gets to the 20-yard line, so able to get through the initial pressure, but then slips as the pocket collapses. And their phrase is motor gun.
Yeah.
Didn't put a hand on him, but was right there in the vicinity of the play.
Yeah, and that was a nice play because Bauer Kane was there and ready to take his head off if he didn't slide or slip there. So wise choice by Hall to go down. But now we have a 3rd and 7 situation.
So Horvat in for the field goal attempt. This one right from the middle of the field. Ball is going to be spotted. Ball's going to be spotted at the 27-yard line down the middle. Horvat, nice, easy swing, and it's going to be good. So Horvat. So 2:59 to play in the third quarter. Western leads McMaster 27-19. And listening to Mustangs football on OUA TV.
Listen. You're more than your successes. You're more than your failures.
Everything you got.
You got this.
You're the work.
All right, dig deep.
It's dirty work. Work that hurts. Work that defines you.
Good, bro.
It's that fire that burns inside you.
One more.
Be you. It's always been you. You're the work. You want that smoke? Give him that body.
Welcome back to Thanks Football on OUA TV. Keon Edwards, OUA MVP, Larry Haler Award winner last year, Todd. 8 touches in the first half, just 6-yard touchdown. Yet to touch the ball in the second half, although the last drive for the Mustangs was one and done. It was a 96-yard bomb to Mo Jamal. However, the Mustangs looking to stick with the passing attack. It'll be interesting to see if they ever revert back to the running attack from the rest of this game. Hillick, play action. Ball is batted. Hillick catches it himself and is going to lose 9 yards. That's where you want to do your best volleyball impersonation and spike it.
Yeah, we get that up, but then you never know. There's 2 defenders around you. The last thing you want to do is spike it into their hands. So maybe a smart play to give up 10 yards to avoid the interception, but yeah, like number 47 was there, and who knows.
So play action. Savon Magne with the catch. Oh, and it's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards. Again on the deflection. So Magne Jones comes down with a big catch, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Have to get to the 45, and Greg Marshall not looking to gamble at this part of the game. So he's going to send in A.J. Williamson for the punt attempt. And again, we see a player go down, this time the defensive back, Nana Yasura, who's the starting safety for the Mac Marauders, is down.
So that was a great concentrated catch by Magne Jones there. The ball was tipped. He had to change his body. It would have changed the flight of the ball. He's able to come down with it right before he knows he's going to get hammered by a couple tenders. So great play.
So that 8 catches for 101 yards now for Savon Magne Jones. The expected production, I think my staff goes into the game thinking, okay, we're going to get 100 yards from Mag Jones. But we're also going to get 100 yards from Keon Edwards. Where are they going to get the rest of the yards? Not today. Mac has done a really good job bottling up this Western run attack.
And if you think of Magne Jones having missed a number of passes, how many yards would he have today if he made all of his catches or more, just than he's used to.
Leading receiver Mohsen Jamal has 171 catches on 171 yards on 7 catches, 1 TD. So here's A.J. Williamson. Nice snap, catches it clean, gets a high, deep punt down 20-yard line. Flag on the play. So once again, Mac is going to put themselves in trouble. They're going to start probably back about their 15-yard line. Nice punt by A. Williams.
That was about a 60-yard punt. I mean, he has been booting the ball in stratosphere, and that ball has been turning over. You know the sign of a good kick when the nose of the ball is over like a javelin as opposed to the tail dragging. The ball tends to drop, and he's been getting that nose over a number of times tonight, and that ball's been going 50 and 60 yards.
So Western will force Mac to start deep in their own end. Once again, 1:28 to play in this third quarter. Western had them in a favorable position. It was 2nd and 20 from about the 15-yard line last drive, but the face masking penalty, a dropped interception, and Mac was able to take advantage and score a field goal. Let's see if Western can bottle up in their end. The Mustangs lead 27-19. Keegan Hall. Kelly beside him. Play action. Hall rolling out to his left. Throws back across the middle. And he's got the reception. 30, 35-yard line. First down. Once again, nice connection to Jacob Patton.
And again, it's just that drag route coming from the far side of the field, across the formation to the far side of the field. And he had daylight once he caught that ball. There was not a defender near him anywhere. Runs to the field side, and the defenders have to get him after getting the first down.
It's that crossing pattern. He just gets lost going across that middle, and no one on that backside identifies that he's playing. So ball's on the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the short side for Keegan Hall. Empty backfield. Hall looking down the middle, under pressure, is able to go away. There's Cooling. Jackson Cooling is going to go down 1 yard short with a 9-yard reception.
Yep, and again, Western's sitting in a zone defense, and the receivers are doing a great job finding the off spots, and Hall's doing a great job finding receivers in those spots, and this is what's happening. They're moving the ball. 9-yard gain on that reception.
So should be final play of the third quarter, just 10 seconds left. They're going short yardage position, and he's got the first down, it looks like. So that was Steven Narencic with the first down.
Credit to McMaster. They were pinned deep in their own end on the 10-yard line, and they have again moved the ball, this time on their own accord, moved the ball out to the 46, 47-yard line and taken themselves a double.
Not with trickery, not with cautious play calling either. They're taking shots downfield. So final play of the third quarter, Keegan Hall, empty backfield. Looking to his left, now back to the middle, dumps it off, crossing pattern once again. And steps out of bounds after a gain of 13 yards. That was Matthew Gale with another reception from the first-year player, and that's going to end the third quarter. Western leading by 8 over McMaster. A great game. 15 minutes to end it next. It's 27-19, and you're watching Mustangs football on OUA TV. Fourth quarter about to get underway here at Haler Civic Memorial Field, Western Alumni Stadium. The Mustangs and the Marauders 27-19. Keegan Hall and the Marauders into Mustang territory. 1st and 10. Handing the ball off, looking for a little space. Not much there. And it's going to be a run of maybe 1 yard. That looked like Jacob Mason a fullback in the depth chart getting the carry. He's had a couple of receptions so far. First carry for Jacob Mason tonight.
Yeah, he just couldn't find the lane to get into to run, and he's sort of dancing around. And the more you dance, the more you give the defensive line and linebackers time to flow and fill gaps and go nowhere.
I wonder if that's a play almost to keep the Western defense honest.
Well,
like occasionally we're going to run the ball, so don't drop right back into pass coverage, or for the ends, pin your ears back. 4 receivers to the right for Hall. He needs 9 yards, first down. Hall quickly has Mason, the fullback, and he's got a reception, and it's going to be first down. So Mason just up the seam, gets 10 yards. So on a quick hitter from Keegan Hall, Jacob Saunders has replaced cornerback. Tight field, flood to the right. Hall, play action, rolling out. Shadowed nicely by the defender. Hall under pressure, taking a deep shot, and then it's knocked down. Halt, a big hit. Steph Potasic is upset. I thought that was a clean hit. He's well outside the pocket. We can protect the quarterback only so much, Todd.
Yeah, and I mean, if he's going to stand back there and look, I mean, in reality, he probably should have thrown that ball away when there wasn't a clear receiver in the area.
So, Pasic's defense, which has knocked out a couple of Western quarterbacks in the past in playoff situations, I can think of 2. Interesting how protective he is of his own quarterbacks. Of course, as a coach, you're always advocating for your team. 2nd and 10. Hall with 4 receivers to the right. There's where the big field is. Empty backfield. Hall behind his receiver's catch, but a good defensive play. That was Lawrence Bowers-Kane, I believe, making the stop. And they're going to be 6 yards short. Let's watch this on replay.
This was a great catch. This ball was behind the receiver at his knee level, and he was able to drop the hands back, grab it with reversed hand position, and pull it in for the reception. Not enough for a first down, obviously, but still an impressive catch.
So Gale makes a nice catch, but Lawrence Bowers-Kane, just a great hit, following through, making sure there's no yards after catch. So 42-yard field goal attempt. This would cut it to a 5-yard lead. High snap, but it's pinned down. Kick is up, and it's good.
Nice job. How many field goals is that for him today?
With his 4th field goal, I believe. Pardon me, that's his 5th field goal. 5 field goals for Horvat, just the 1 touchdown. And it's 27-22. However, typically against the Mustangs in their offense, you don't want to trade field goals for touchdowns.
No, you're not.
So the Mustangs really put a statement on the board if they're able to answer with a touchdown right here.
But they get themselves back within 5 points at this stage of the fourth quarter.
It's a one-score game, Todd.
Yeah, it's a close one. You're exactly where you want to be in the fourth quarter against Western with a 5-point differential.
So starting from their own 35-yard line. Mac bringing a little pressure. Hillick as his receiver. Magne Jones spins out of the first tackle, taken down at the 42. Let's make it a gain of 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and short.
Yep, quick little out route to the boundary side. So, that was meant to zip in there and just get 5 yards or 6 yards in the end.
So Edwards is the deep back. Haven't seen much of Keon carrying the ball. Is this going to be his first attempt? Mac believes it's going to be pressure up the middle. Hillick looks over the defense, resets. Receiver now go in motion. Mac bringing numbers up the middle. Edwards on the handoff and then slips. Looks like he was on ice skates, Todd.
Yep, again, to the point, it looks like that field's just getting a little bit sick. And when it's wet, this field is fine. When it's dry, this field is fine. But like we saw last year in a couple of games, it's just that little layer of dew. It's actually more slippery than when it's soaked. And it looked like Edwards was so excited to get the ball there finally that those wheels just spun a little fast for what the turf could handle.
But credit to the MAC defense.
Yeah, they were
in a run blitz right there.
Yeah.
They were in a very good position.
That was well timed, and they got through and right into the running lane and no yards.
So 2 returners deep for Mac. A.J. Williamson with the catch. Nice high punt. Western with good coverage. There's no yards on the play. That is a tight call.
Yeah, that looked like he was well fit.
Considering we're right on the yard line.
Yeah, that looked like he was outside that 5-yard halo rule.
Yeah.
But, hey.
All right, let's take a look at the replay
stripes.
and see how close he was, as Williamson just doesn't quite turn the ball over. Maybe.
Yeah, we can't see the angle from the other side of the field.
So if he wasn't 5 yards, he was 4, but to the referee, it's got to be 5. So 15 yards on the penalty. And Mac, again, has good starting field position at their own 51-yard line. So looking out of town at the end of the third, Windsor all over Guelph 32-4. Waterloo has opened it up over York 53-32 with 3 minutes to go. And a tight one with Ottawa leading Toronto 12-10, 6 minutes to play in that game. 11 minutes to play here. Mac trailing by 5. High snap. Keegan Hall pulls it down, swings it out, looking for Jacob Cooling. It's the turf, and it's going to be second down and 10. That time, Western on the crossing routes, Todd, much better job.
Yeah, and it looked like when he threw the ball to the receiver, he just got a little bit tight. He saw the defender closing in on the receiver, so he threw it a little tight, threw it a little short, and he was not able to get the ball into the receiver's hands. Probably a wise choice when you're throwing it to the flat and the defender's closing on the ball. You don't go in the other way.
Mac has done a very good job throughout the game. Second and long in the second and 10. They've been outstanding. 3 receivers to the left. Keegan Hall looking at pressure up middle. Hall under pressure. Looks to get away. He's sacked. Big loss. 16-yard loss. Lawrence Bowers Kane with the sack.
There we go. That's
well timed. Well called.
That's what Western's been waiting for today. They've been waiting to get one of those linebackers, defenders in the backfield and get a tackle or a sack for us and gain some position the way he did last year against teams.
Lawrence Bowers Kane with the sack. Loss of 16 on the play. Mac into the punt quickly. Horvat low to Masseri at the 35. Masseri looking for room, and he's taken down right at the 35. No gain on the return. So Evan Hillick. There's a flag on the near sideline. Let's see if Western was caught with too many players.
The tackle was made by Drake Bodie on that play.
Linebacker.
Third-year linebacker. I'm not sure what residence those orange jerseys are from, but they're holding in here and having a good time across the field while we wait for the call.
Okay, so too many men is the penalty, and I'm wondering if they had one not off on the sideline, they'd have been able to play that it matters. So if you're the coach, you're going to kick that over, or you're going to take it at the end of the play?
Well, I think you're going to try and get the field position on Western here, right? Move them
but
back.
You're not going to take it from the spot of the foul.
Sorry, viewers. We're just trying to get a sense of what the call is and what the decision is here. There seems to be some confusion.
It's too many minutes. About a minute down. It shouldn't, but yeah. The ref Mac thinks it's an automatic first down. The chain gang thinks it's an automatic first down. So while this gets sorted out, 10 minutes to play. 5-point differential.
What was the previous? I had 3rd and 24. 3rd and 24 from where? From the 37. The previous line of scrimmage was the MAC 37.
So now we have Murray Drinkwalder, survivor officials, in the booth.
The big wheels are in the booth trying to determine what the
Third
final
and
and proper decision should be.
15 yards on the
Yeah.
sack. They were at the 51. They lost 15.
It's early in the season for the officials as well, Todd.
Exactly. Everyone's a little rusty.
Yeah.
And coaches are arguing. Everyone wants every inch of field position that they can get at this point of the game.
But it was interesting, I thought, on that play, how quickly Mac came onto the field, almost like running sort of a scramble drill, and just coming on there ready to kick right away.
Right.
And you do get it to substitute, but Western, was caught, was a little lollygagging. Maybe someone didn't fully get off the field.
Yep, and again, by week 2, you hope to have things under control, but bottom line, Teenagers will be teenagers,
Yeah.
and sometimes, they're dehydrated, they're tired, the head goes a little bit, someone's not paying attention, and that's probably what happened here. But you can bet they'll go over this in video on Tuesday or tomorrow and have a conversation about who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So I'm just watching the MAC. They thought it was going to be a first down. Yeah. So are they going to put it on the end of the play, or are they going to kick it again? So will this get sorted out? The Western coaching staff breathes a little sigh of relief. So Western's going to have the ball on their own 27-yard line. Evan Hillock just getting warm following that extended break. I don't think many of the players mind that little extra timeout.
Well, especially the big boys. Big boys that are sweating profusely at this stage game, they appreciate the extra minute or two of breathing room.
I tell you, Todd, that orange section over there, they've been exuberant all game.
They win the awards for the most spirited.
First and 10 for the Mustangs, under 10 minutes to play. Leading by 5. Hillock, handing the ball. Yazbek through the line. Yazbek's got room. Yazbek, somersaults over the 42, maybe to the 43-yard line. Keanu Yazbek on the carry, and it's a first down for the Mustangs. Let's take a look as he busts through just to the left end.
Shoelace tackle. Otherwise, he was getting another 10 to 15 yards easily. He would love to have that one back because he's got legs.
There's the orange crew. The one time they're actually standing still. First down, Yazbek looking for room up the middle. Nothing there. Again, Mac has done a great job plugging up the middle, and it's going to be second down and maybe 9. Just coming up to 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, exactly. The perfect way to respond after a big first down from Western is to have a big stuff for 1 yard, gain only from Yazbek. Now you got them second and 9.
Here's a design for Mosen Jamal on the out. Jamal. Roll out. Hillock has to just throw it away. Not sure what that play was, but Hillock pointing downfield, and it's going to be incomplete.
I think when Hillock turned around and was going to start to look upfield, there was a defender in his face now, and he knew he had to throw it away. Good job getting it away. Otherwise, he would have taken a sack for a big loss, and he was able to get the ball over the line of scrimmage, so there's no flag on the play.
So Matt's still around, 5-point game. This is exactly, you just had a little call go against you. You're a little fired up if you're the Marauders.
And there's
now it looks like you're getting the ball back.
With decent field position.
Williamson, clean catch, takes his time. Boy, oh boy, if I'm A.J. Williamson, I had so much time. And out of bounds, no yards all that time. The MAC defenders completely collapsed. Williamson had no one to the left. If we watch that again, no one is even watching him.
Yeah, and he may not, as a young kicker, may not have the green light to go and make something of that. Right, your hero or zero on that play. But again, the second time he's kicked that ball now, and that nose has not turned over. The tail is dragged and dropped into traffic. So, a bit of a hairy moment. Should have ended up with another flag on that.
So 4 receivers to the right. Ken Hall with 8 minutes to play, trying to engineer the Marauders into scoring position. Western looking to hang on. Hand it off. Up the middle. Nice run. And it looks like they're going to get 8 yards on the carry by Braden Kelly.
Yeah, nice job. That's probably one of their better gaining running plays. And, all right, the longest run of the day. So, Mac will take that right now. They seem to be the one controlling the ground game other than Yazbek's big gain last season.
So second down and short, maybe 1.5 yards. Hall does not like to go up under center. Receivers crisscrossing in the backfield. Hall, hand of the ball off. Kelly jump starts. Nice shot up the middle. So Braden Kelly with the best run of the day for him as he approaches midfield. A little bit of a nice jump cut.
Hey, it worked the first time. Decent field position. Why not go for it again? Just sort of gashing his way through the D-line linebackers there for the first down.
Just under 7 minutes to play. Kelly is the lone back. 4 receivers to the right for Keegan Hall. Patton, the lone receiver, to the left. Hall looking to his right. Quick release. Oh, and great defense. Was that Riley McLeod? Yes, it was.
Yep.
Middle linebacker, but the big paw to knock that down. Intended target, I think, was Jackson Cooling.
Great job getting his hand in there. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it, too. You get that upfield arm across. The back arm is at the back of the receiver ready for a tackle, and he just punches it out of there.
Riley McLeod, a Hamilton product. So you know his adrenaline is racing in this game against his hometown team. It's 7-10. Patton is to the left. Cooling inside to the right. Those are the favorite target, Keegan Hall. Hall looking to the outside, has his receiver. It's Cooling who makes the first man miss, escapes, but then he's going to pay for that as he's thrown down only a gain of 3 on the play.
Had he gone down on that first contact, he'd have had 3 yards to go. Because he kept on his feet and he worked his way backwards, now his field position.
Looked like Cooling had a bit of a choice route there. Just sort of slow played it to right. So 3-yard gain. And here comes Horvat back to punt. Flag on the play. A 5-yard procedure call going against the Marauders. So from the 51-yard line. Mohsen Jamal standing to his heels on the 18-yard box. Now moving up to the 20. Braden Masseri is at about the 17-yard line. Driving punt by Horvat. Masseri has it at the 12. Looking for around the sidelines. Masseri steps out of bounds. About a 20-yard line. And so, with 5:38 to play, Western with just a 5-point lead, 27-22 over McMaster, and we'll have the conclusion next. You're watching Mustangs football on .535 to play. Western leading MAC 27-22 in a very entertaining ball game here at Haler Samodiuk Memorial Field at Western Alumni Stadium. And as if on cue, the multiple national champion award-winning cheerleader squad, Todd, comes around the bend to lead this alumni side in the cheers. Evan Hillick, first down from the 21. Keanu Yazbek is the back. Hillick, play action. Looking to the sidelines. Has his receiver, looks like Robertson with the reception. It's going to be about 8 on the play. Pardon me, Craig Coleman leaked out of the backfield. So Coleman, the fullback, on the reception, makes the first man miss, and it's going to be a gain of 8.
Yep, nice easy little pass, the short flat, and he's able to get some yards after the catch.
Coleman comes off. Sandro Perini, second-year fullback from Niagara Falls, now into the game. Yazbek is the up back. Mack has done well clogging up the middle. Yazbek on the handoff. Yazbek will have a first down as he powers over the 35 to the 36, make it close to the 37. So Keanu Yazbek with a big first down for the Mustangs as the clock goes down to 4:30.
You got to wonder if Edwards is standing on the sidelines wondering, why can't I get these carries? Where have these been all day?
Yeah. just put his foot in the ground and one cut and go. 1st and 10, ball on the 37. Magne Jones wide to the right. Hillock with the snap, looking left. Quickly to the outside. Oh, he's got Braden Masseri. Nice catch. Turns around, falls down for 14 yards. And again, a lot of respect given by Shimbalenga, the cornerback. A lot of room for Masseri out there. Johan Shimbalenga trying to isolate him on a couple of plays. 1st down for the Mustangs. Ball on their 50-yard line. Yazbek offset to the left. Receivers now go in motion. Play action quickly. Oh, just hit at the line, and it didn't have enough gas to fall into Savon Magne Jones's hands. 2nd and 10.
Another big paw falling just short of Magne Jones' hands in the middle zone. Almost able to get it, but that change of direction was a little bit tough for him at this stage of the game.
Good play. I think that was Mitch Price, last year's second team OUA All-Star, who got his hand in there. Mustangs with lots of motion before the snap. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. Lots of time for Hillock. Mack bringing the house. Flag on the play. So it's going to be procedure on the Mustangs. And it's going to be 2nd down and 15. The Mustangs will take that because I think that play was going nowhere.
Yeah. No, that wasn't going anywhere. So they get another chance before they have to potentially punt it away.
Seemed
so
like with
15.
The backs or the receivers weren't in the right formation to begin with. There was a lot of crisscrossing on the field that they didn't have right exact formation. So coming up 3 minutes here. We're at 3:15. He's going to take his time looking over the defense. 10 to go on the play clock. They need 15 yards 1st down. Receivers go in motion. Hillock back to pass under pressure. Hillock ups up in the pocket, dumps it off to his receiver. So Magne Jones makes one man miss. Puts his shoulder down. He's going to be about 3 yards short though. Got 12 on the play, needed 15, and it's going to be 3rd down. So let's take a look as Hillock avoids the upfield pressure, dumps it off. Magne Jones makes one man miss, block Craig Coleman.
Yeah, great
but
block
then
by
just run to too many defenders.
Yep, that just sprung him for a couple of extra yards, but not able to get far enough upfield for the 1st down. About 4 yards short, 3 yards short of the 1st down. Magne Jones, this guy's going to deserve an ice cream cone at the end of this game. He's been working hard tonight.
Drake Bodie, linebacker, down right now on the play. So Keegan Hall, interesting to see what instructions they've given to A.J. Williamson. If they stand back, if they spy the punter, if Western does anything tricky with less than 5 yards to go. See if they can Mack offside, perhaps. Extend this drive like Mack did.
Well, I'm interested to see what, if and when it's received, and Mack starts with the ball. I'm interested to see how Hall handles this situation. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, 5 points down. This is where, as a young quarterback, you can really establish yourself. And, I mean, I think this team already believes in him, but, man, you would establish yourself very, very well.
Look for a steady diet of patent and cooling. Cooling and patent.
Again, you're starting boundary corners out. They've been running 4-by-1. Why not isolate that X receiver on the short side? You know, like they haven't hit that yet, so we'll see.
So Williamson off the side of his foot. They let it bounce. Oh, takes a bounce high to the 10. Little room to the outside. And it's, stays on his feet. Good job. Out to the 20-yard line.
Bounces off the tackler, does a little spin and stays on his feet.
So let's take a look at the replay. May have been a fumble at the end there. Once again, Williamson just can't get it over. Takes a fortuitous Mustang bounce.
A very lucky bounce for the Mustangs.
And they lost it right in. Bounced right into the Mac player's arms. So it's first down. Mac is trailing by 5, 2:37 to play. Keegan Hall looking to engineer a go-ahead touchdown. 4 receivers to the left. Hall back to pass. Has time. Drops it over the middle to nowhere. Not sure what he was looking at. Cooling stopped up. I wondered if he thought he was going to go through. It's going to be 2nd and 10. little bit of a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver on that play.
Yeah, the receiver just looked like he was completely lost, like either in the wrong spot or it was thrown to the wrong spot. No one expected it.
So 3 receivers to the left. Patton is outside to the right. He's been Hall's favorite target. Hall back to pass, has time. And then he's going to be a couple yards short. Nice catch by Matthew Gale. However, it's going to 3rd down and 3.
All right, here's the replay. The ball's caught. The receiver bounces and makes a few spins off of a few, but then
Richard Adubafor is back on.
Adubafor is back on, makes the tackle.
So 3rd and 2. 2:15 to play from their 31-yard line. Western bringing a little pressure. Hall keeps it and takes a hit late. And is going to be called. There's no flag of play.
No flag, smart play.
The referee's getting an earful from players and sideline alike. So good play by Keegan Hall on the quarterback draw. Slid down. Should have been a flag.
Yeah, that should have been a flag. And if I'm
so
Coach
first
Ptacek,
down
I'd be
at the
arguing that
36-yard
one for
line.
sure.
Clock is running. Two minutes to play. Mac has the ball on the 36-yard line. Patton isolated to the left. Hall back to pass. Over the middle. Cooling behind the play. Gain of 5.
Another nice catch.
It'll be 2nd and 5. 1:36. Mac taking their time. Time is not a factor here. Going to try to take as much time as possible. School comes wide to the left with Patton. We're a little two-man game out here with these two talented receivers. Hall looking right, though. Keegan Hall under pressure. Keegan Hall taken down. Nice play.
The old T-shirt tackle. A timely tackle from the defensive tackle. Had he not made that tackle, Hall would have been gone for a first down easily.
Yeah, Hall. Max von Nieldorfer with the big play. It's not going to be a tackle for loss, I believe, but it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Do you go back to the... I think I don't think the element of surprise is there on the quarterback draw.
No. But it's one of the more successful passing routes Zach has run this evening. Those crossers. This is a great opportunity, a great time to run one of those crossers or some sort of mesh concept and, just get the first down. You just got to keep the sticks moving and take advantage of what's left in the clock.
I think I'm isolating Patton. I haven't seen him a lot. He hasn't been nearly as focused on in the second half by Mac. They've spread the ball out a little more. But I think I do Patton. And remember, they've done a couple times where Patton is behind the line. He's coming from one side to the other, behind the line, play action one way, back to Patton in the flats.
Well, here we go. Let's see what he does.
So 3rd down, they need 4 yards. Keegan Hall, receivers in motion, gets the snap, looking to his left, has time. Keegan Hall going deep over the top, has Pat dropped it.
Oh, boy.
Patton had time, and he dropped it. Hit it right in the chin strap. And it's going to be 1st down for the Mustangs. Turnover by downs.
Jacob Patton will think about that
Good
pass
call. Great
all
call.
night and the rest
Take
of the week.
a shot.
That catch would have been a game changer.
Yeah. Mustangs get a break. It's going to be 1st down. I believe Mac has 1 timeout left.
A big sigh of relief.
Big sigh of relief from this crowd. Mac bringing numbers. Gazbeck looking to get outside. Oh, does a great mouth. Puts his shoulder down at 35. He's at 34. Josh Cummings sacrificed himself to bring him down. Good play. There's a penalty on the play.
Holding call for.
It's going to be holding on the Mustangs. So Cooper paid the price on a play that doesn't count. So 1st and 20. Are you calling a timeout after this play if you're Jeff Potasic? Got one left, I believe.
Well, if it's an incomplete pass, I'm not.
Fair enough. Or he goes out of bounds.
Or he goes out of bounds.
That's right. So Hillock, play action. Mo Jamal, just out. No timeout.
No timeout.
Yeah. Put a little extra heat on that one. Didn't think the defensive backs were so far back.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to prevent them from getting into that field goal range, any big play. Hillock had a lot of time to throw that. Should have had plenty of opportunity to get that ball in there.
It's a very, very deep out. So Hillock. Ball is on the 52. Needs 20 yards first down. Play action. Hillock taking a shot down the middle. Ball is up in the air. Almost intercepted.
Oh.
Incomplete. And so in and out of the arms of the Mustang receiver, the defender. And with 1:12 left, the Mustangs will give the ball back. Just almost intercepted.
Yeah, great play by Survey to make that big tackle on the receiver to knock that ball so close to an interception.
So the Mustangs run 3 plays, Todd, take a total of 14 seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
And go backwards 10 yards.
Yeah, and did not leave themselves in a good position.
This is not well executed at the end of the day. When a chance to put a team away, right, you're going to run the ball 2 times, then you're going to punt, but you're going to make them force to take a timeout, then force to use 20 seconds on the clock.
And at worst, you're going to end up in the same position you are now, punting the ball away, or
in slightly better field position.
Right.
It was that first down hold, though.
Yes. Yeah, that sort of hurt them.
That was the one that really dispirited them. Oh, so Williamson here. What are your instructions, the punter? Are you punting this right bound?
Well,
3 yards?
I would think yes.
Yeah. Anything inside the 20 out of bounds, I think, would be success.
And, Coach Marshall earlier this week talked about the fact they like to kick the ball out of bounds. They have been kicking the ball out of bounds. But today they haven't kicked any balls out of bounds.
Yeah. And no. So, terrible to save his foot. Takes a sideways bounce, goes backwards for the Mustangs. Oh, punter! Does a great job of fumble on the play. Great work by A.J. Williamson, though, to make everyone on side. So the old rugby, but it was Williamson who was the first person to contact. I think he makes everyone on side. So I think 47, though, still was in. He was beyond.
No, they're picking the flag up, so there's no flag on the play.
All right. It's down. I thought 47 was beyond.
I did too at first.
Yeah.
And then Williamson came in like a rocket, disrupted the play, almost caused the turnover.
So Mac has life. 63 seconds left. Down by 5. Western defense has been bend but don't break since the first quarter.
They have their prevent defs on. They have 3 down linemen, so they have an extra defensive back on the field.
Just 3. Hall. Gain of 5 on the play. It was Everett Reed on the reception. Clock a run on the referee's whistle once they split the ball. 2nd and 7. Low snap. Hall is back. Intercepted, and that's the game. Mac Nixon. Nixon with a highway to the end zone. Nixon's going to get touchdown, Max Nixon. And that's all game.
Great way to end the ball game.
So Max Nixon dropping back in coverage with the interception. Let's take a look at this great game-ending play by Max Nixon. He was right up for it.
He looked like a receiver on that play.
Yeah.
And then runs like a receiver into the end zone to put the exclamation point.
43-yard interception return for Max Nixon. Makes the bulge 11 points. Brian Garrity for his 4th extra point. And a huge defensive play. Rawson pins it. Garrity it. And with less than 43 seconds to play, The horses make a trip down the track. And the Mustangs look to come out of this 2-0. Following the run back, taking a knee. He'll be replaced. The kick cover team. He's gassed, Todd.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he's cramping up as well.
Yeah.
Yep, he's grabbing the hamstring.
So two choices for play of the game. You got Mo Jamal on a 96-yard bomb, or you got Max Nixon on a 43-yard return with just 45 seconds to play to seal the deal.
Yeah, that really seals the deal, and that would probably get my vote for that because Hall was, had the chance to move the ball down the field, but grabs the ball out of the air like a tight end and rumbles it into the end zone.
Nice blocking by Jackson Finley as well, leading May there.
Still curious about Keon Edwards and why he hasn't seen more action in the second half and why he hasn't touched the ball a lot all game.
This is a production business, my friend.
But it's nice when you can go to the corral and pull out another great running back to carry the load.
So Mannix walks off under his own power. Gets some slaps from the sideline. Brian Garrity will look to kick this ball off. Now, technically, had Max Nixon to the one line, the game is over. However, we've seen this in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns famously scored under 2 minutes, making it a 13-point game and somehow lost. So from the 10, here's Shields to the 20. Oh, takes a big hit, and he's thrown down at about the 18-yard line. Olivier Rouet, second-year linebacker, making the tackle on special teams. So 36 seconds to play. The blue light special is coming into effect. I think the other play you look back on is the missed opportunity by Mack with Patton.
Yes.
A third down wide open.
Yeah, that was a key play for sure. Had they caught that ball, they were in a great position.
Great position. So Braden Kelly on the handoff gets up to about the 27-yard line. So Hall out of the pocket, rolling to his right, looking to the sideline. Almost intercepted, almost up 6.
Keep it on the ground. Ooh. Protect ball.
Was that Callum Jasinski who had a chance to walk in for a touchdown? So Callum Jasinski, second one that has bounced off him, although he's done a very good job on the corner.
Yeah, great position.
Yeah.
I mean, a knockdown's better than a reception by the receiver, but a pick six
you
is
don't
the
get
best
gifts
way.
that too often.
No, you don't.
So third down, 3 yards to go, 9 seconds to go all game. Keegan Hall back to pass on the crossing pattern, has his receiver. So once again, it's Matthew Hale, the first-year receiver, making the catch.
Letting some of the young guys get some action.
You look at this MAC team, and they're 0-2, Todd. But this is a dangerous offensive team. They played two very good defenses, Windsor and Western. Low snap. Hall drops it off. There's Cooling on the catch. And the Mustangs can't quite hold them past for the final 2 seconds, so there's one more snap. This team is going to present a lot of problems.
Back to your point, I mean, they're 0-2 by very few points.
This is a good 0-2 team.
Yeah. 12 points against Western.
Yeah.
Second week of the season.
Yeah.
The team.
Yeah.
With a team that really does not run the ball very well at all.
No. Keegan Hall acquitted himself very nicely. Final play of the game. So, Gale is tackled, and that's going to do it. With a late pick 6 to seal the deal. The Mustangs, who were tied halftime 13-13 with Mac, take the home opener 34-22 and sit atop the OUA at 2-0. Nice game by Evan Hillick. So it was Hillick to Robertson. Nice score down the seam. And then Hillick on the play action. Found Mohsen Jamal. 96 yards. Give credit to Mac, though. Could have been a backbreaker. Western had him on the ropes, Todd.
Yeah,
it was second down and long.
Back.
And they had a unnecessary roughing penalty, face mask. And here's the final play with about 50 seconds to go. It was Max Nixon, the fourth-year linebacker to London, who was able to turn and rumble it in from 43 yards, and that sealed the deal.
Yeah, that was the stake in the heart that ended that game.
So make the final. West 34, Mac 22. OUA TV for Western Mustangs returns. 1 o'clock Saturday, September 23rd. Homecoming as the Ottawa GGs come to town. Back-to-back big crowds then. So Frosh Week always a sellout. Homecoming guaranteed a sellout with a little bit more of a, how we say, raucous atmosphere for that Saturday afternoon.
A little bit more of a party atmosphere, tailgating atmosphere for sure. Look forward to that game. Hopefully the weather stays nice at that point.
So our thanks to super spotter Jake Williams up in the booth for keeping us well informed all day. Thanks to our executive producer Dan Durack, and our director is Nick Vickers, and to all the crew working the truck for your efforts today. On behalf of Todd McKay, my name is Tom McConnell. You've been watching Mustangs football on OUA TV.